People that is that's nagging, because they're doing this. One man is doing all kind of thing, or this one woman is treating 4 or 5 different men really bad, and nobody called that nagging. But in the institute that God has created together, we start to use those common words. You're nagging. I'm talking. The reason why you think that I'm nagging is because you have an issue that you have not dealt with.
Not necessarily.
Hold on. When a woman talk because she's hurt, or she tell you one thing 2,050 times in 1 week, and you ain't get it done, and we come back another time and says, my God, you think it's now I've been asking you to do that? You think it's now I'm asking you? Why can't you just get it? That's not nagging. That's just her being frustrated and flustered. When the common law man is out there with everybody and he go home, he says, you know what, woman, give me a break. I'm going to get it done. Nobody complain. Because why? It's not an institution. Anything that Christ created or built, we look at words as nagging, pushing, quarreling, fighting, reveling, all kind of thing. And my answer is always why. If you come into Christendom and you become a Christian, you hear the people start saying, oh, these Christians and them, they're hypocrite. These Christians and them, they're nagging. These Christians are fighting. When they're unsaved, they're whining, they're living the worst life on the street. Ain't nobody saying nothing about them. When we go out of character, the whole world sees us.
Thanks.
Yes.
Okay.
And let's look at some scriptures.
Nagging, a woman nagging is different from what they're talking about. Let me tell you something. A nagging woman is different from nagging when she nags over every issue in the house. Yes? The Bible says...
What's the meaning of nagging?
Hold on. The Bible says it's better to live in the rooftop than in the house of a nagging woman. A woman who always talking about something, always following something, always trying to, always doing something or saying something about something that nothing never tastes good, nothing never feels good, never do right. You know, and that is one aspect of it. Yes? Complain about everything. When the man says something, she always have something to have an answer. She always have to bugging him about something. Always have to tell him something. He watching his sports games, she come and trouble him. Why are you always watching sports? Why you always can't do something else? Again, he come on.
Got to the bottom of it.
Come up. Hold on, text.
No, well, let's talk from the bottom up. Then why is she nagging? Is she nagging because she's frustrated? Is she nagging because she's tired? Is she nagging because you're not spending that quality time with her?
Yes, well, hold on. That's and all of that you can put all together in one big basket there. But she should not be nagging. The Bible says it's better for a man to deal and stay on the house top than in the house and nagging one. The Bible said that. I didn't say that. That's what God was said. Stay away from such woman. Stay on the house top. Don't go down in the house with her. Let she cry for herself. Leave her there until she get tired. However.
So John, I think what Tex is saying is that if we as women are I won't even say nagging. If we're discussing or trying to have a discussion with you about certain things that's going on with the relationship, that's going on in the house, then don't look at it as I'm nagging, but trying to have a discussion with you so that we can be on the same page, so that we can have unity, so that we can have love and all these other things that will lead up to that. You know. Okay.
I always use my chef for example. And
have you noticed that only men complain that woman is nagging and women don't complain that men is nagging?
Exactly.
So let's look at the word nagging.
Hold on. He said nagging, but the Bible specifically, so God said it, not me. God said it's better in front of the house than in the house.
Scripture.
You're a nagging woman. Watch this. Now, the nagging woman, right? She complains about everything. And I always say I want to use myself for an example, right? I always use that example again with myself. And I listened to you guys last time I said that, and you guys keep asking me why. My wife would never go ask me why. And that is nagging. If I had to do it to any of you there, no, you guys was nagging. You know what I'm saying? Why would this? Why didn't do this?
Bring it home. I'm going to deal with you tonight.
I want to know why. My wife already, I explained to her why, and she know, and you guys still say, John, why are you doing it? Why are you doing it? Why are you doing it still? Now, if one of you guys, my wife, I walk out the house and I still come back for a long time. You know what I'm saying? But my wife is so nice. She said, no, I'm tired of these guys and them. No, she's not on me now. She said, these guys and them. You ask this one, you ask that one, you ask this one, you ask that one. And she know I asked them. I even see the message that come from them. But that has been said. And then again, let us just get, and you said something about the unsaved. Let me tell you something. Christian husband, Christian wife, unsaved wife, the mentality is almost the same until they get awakening. Yeah? There's Christian wives, bona fide gospel preaching women, they still knock their husband. They will testify to it. Let me tell you something. I see husband and wife. Do you know that marriages break up in church too? 50% of marriage still end up in
of course, John. But we have to understand if
for the same reason that the unsaved divorce for, the same reason the church divorcing for. The same reason, no difference.
Okay.
Lack of sex, bad sex, no sex, more money, no money, and bad communications.
You know, John, one thing he forgot to add to that list is that don't walk away while we women are trying to talk. No leaving out of the room. Have a seat.
Don't walk away from text. You got a pan and start beating it. Yeah.
It is strange that men often find themselves as women is nagging, yet still they leave their wife and they jump into a pot where women disrespect them and bring them down to the level of a boy, and yet they're quick to say, I prefer that one. Mm-hmm. But coming home to deal with the wife is nagging. Hence the reason why I'm telling you, in an unsafe relationship, he is with five, six ladies, and he come home, he drunk, he is tired. The wife is asking a simple question, but it's okay. It's just a matter of time.
Listen to me, Tex.
Each and every one of them gonna catch up with him. Just a matter of time.
Yes, you have a song that says the outside woman is the best, right? The outside woman is the best. When he go to outside woman, he have sex, eat food, and he come back home. Bam, nothing to worry about. Yeah. When he come home, food will cook. Immediately in the same outfit that he left when he might come here the same way. When you go to the next one, she have a sexual appeal. On a sexual high, you know, and no, it's true. Very guy shaking your head, but this what happened.
The bad wife from tonight.
You know, John, we over the years, we as women have gotten better about that, right? Because now you find more women who are out in the work field, they're away from the home, they're dressed, you know, we're not home with rollers in our head and the house room on, and
don't worry about it.
You know.
I said, we're gonna go like crazy Mary tonight.
We're gonna be. Hold on, don't worry. Mm-hmm. Yep. We're gonna be from today. We gotta step up our game. Some of us wives are too quiet and passive and don't say a word.
John, you taking text way back.
Don't worry. She'll call God to pull out. She go on. But you know, the pastor has made some serious observations, and I think these are true observations, and I think that will be a good guideline for strong marriages. Yeah.
I think men have to come up to the plate and be honest.
What do you want men to do?
It have a lot of good men. It have a lot of good men out there that would literally sit down with you and talk to you. And then it have the squall men who just come, she's nagging. But did you give her a listening ears? We talk about John and his wife. The reason why she is not harsh with him, he give her an ear. If there is no ear, she'll come back tomorrow and her voice is going to be louder. When you give us a listening ear, we talk. You look at us. We talk and we come to an agreement. If there is no agreement, we're going to talk the same talk tomorrow, and it's going to go on to the next day. But if it's sitting there and taking 40 seconds before you answer one question, I don't know what's going on. Yeah, I'm in your mind. I'm not I'm a mind reader, but you got to talk to me.
Let me tell you something. I think some men make some bad choices of women. They just doesn't meant to be that woman.
That's why it's good when they go out there, they'll get one that will fix their business. I hope they ain't limping coming back.
They make some bad choices in the men they choose. And I think some of them make choices for bad reasons, for just petty reasons. They're not making the choices that is really conducive to a real marriage, a real relationship. You know, I think sometimes we too attached to the physical attraction than the mental attraction. When you sit down with somebody to have a conversation, is interviewing them for the future, to be with you for the future. My wife will tell you, I asked her about 1,000 questions. Yes, I had a nice conversation on the phone.
You answer the question, walking back and forth?
No. I'm sitting
Turn your back on her?
Huh?
Did you turn your back on her when you're talking to her? That makes the difference.
No, I was talking about before I got married to my wife. Even though it was recommended and stuff like that, was that way. Before I call her and ask her some serious questions, and then I had a conversation with somebody else that kind of highlight to what I wanted to know. So before I get into it, I knew who she was and just get to learn more about her. But some men, they just see the woman, she's attractive, and okay, I want to date you, I want to go to, and they go on.
Yeah. No discussion.
Crazy Susan from 2 years ago, she had some bad issues. She probably was and had some bad whatever temperament from before she killed 2 husbands before already, and you number 3 waiting to be killed. You don't know. So you get this girl, she's looking nice, looking good, smelling good, and she all like sexy and walking high heels. And I check stilettos. Yeah, I got stilettos. You call it. So she had all that going for her, and then Bob come along and Bob see her now and say, "This is it. She look good." Yeah, devil wear Prada too. Yeah. Devil wear Prada. So you see her. You don't know if she's Jezebel. You know who she is. You pick her up, and back home you say Laja Bless. You know what Laja Bless is? One good foot and one cold foot woman. So
yeah.
And so, John, that's the problem right there. It's from the very beginning. The men see the women, they see what they like, they see that, the person is attractive. And that's where the mind stops at. That they don't even think to say, let me get to see this person here. Let me see if I can develop feelings for this person. Let me see, if this person has a good head on their shoulder. Are they sane? I mean, are they, what's the story behind this person here? They don't get the chance. They don't take the time. They don't take the time to try to get to know the women. And that's the problem. And that's why you have a lot of failed marriages, because the men, once they get what they want and they get enough of it, then you're nagging. Oh, you're bothering me. Oh, I can't get a break. I want space. All of these things come up because you don't even get a chance to, men don't even take a chance to get to know the woman. Do we have ideas alike? Do we have things in common that we can do outside of the home, outside of the bedroom? And I think that's what we as women, we're looking for, to see if we have a connection that's going to be a lifetime connection, not just on a sexual basis, but we want to know that you're going to be there for the long haul. You're going to be there to listen to us, to care about us. When we have a concern or we're hurt, we want to know that you care and you are listening. And not only are you listening, but we need feedback.
Right. I agree with that.
John Hagee said, this man went to shop and with his wife, and they had a problem in the store. And he couldn't take it, so he left her. Jump onto the, I think it was a 91 or something like that, speeding, but he had a boat behind him. So John Hagee said, After 50 miles, and the cops catch up and with him. He says, "Sir, you left your wife at the store. You need to go back." He said, "My God, where's the boat? Where's the boat?" So the police said, "No, it's not a boat. It's the wife." Hear him. "You don't understand. I was running from her to go to the ocean to speed off. No, where's the boat?"
Yeah, no come.
So the moral of the story, he was not interested in finding her. He was interested in the boat. So he can get away from her.
Yeah.
And that's the mentality of most men. They get to the point where they want, to get away from the wife. I need space, we're growing apart, I don't think we're good together. All these things, and of course, when a man starts that kind of conversation, then we're dealing with another situation there, because now you don't compound the problem.
And you know something, Doris? Good night, Doris. Thank you. Welcome in. Thank you. Good night. And Nigel, John, good night to you for joining. Nigel is in Greater watching in. Yeah, and Oliver, good night to you as well. Yes. So yeah, I think you said something there, Veronica. Just do my train of thought. But something you interesting that you said, I want to piggyback on that too as well. But you're talking about the relationship. I'll probably remember it and come back to it afterwards. But you said something very interesting. I want to draw out of what you said, because it's to do with the relationship. Yeah. I want to I'll probably come in here now. Having your wife as your best friend when you're married, men want to still have was having time to want to move on, they want to have more free time. Yeah, they want to have that time for themselves still. Well, I have a problem with that with men. Yeah, that's what my problem is. Once I'm married, yeah, my free time is my family time. Yeah. I am doing what I'm doing. I'm going to work every time. My time when I have free time, not to go to the bar. My free time to take my wife or 2 hours to go and probably leave the child home and go, then 2 children home. Janice is big enough to take to watch Abby. I can go out. Yeah. Or my free time could be taken before I down to the bluff and have a picnic together. That is my free time spent with my family. I don't need the boys to spend free time with. Okay. I need that free time when I could see probably we could just loose up ourselves together as a family and just have fun. That's my free. I want to come home after I had this work and not going to sit on the bar to feel free and to feel thing. When I could something I need to talk to my wife about. You know what I mean? There's so many things. Even now, with this radio station, things that we're trying to do, we need more time to talk about all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I can't wait on the street. You see, when you don't have nothing to talk about, you don't want to come home. If you're interested in talking to your wife about, you want to come home to talk to your wife. You want to come up to your children. You want to have some conversation. You see, if you have nothing from nothing is what? Nothing. Yeah? And that's why I come to my point now with the nagging woman. Because when you have nothing, she comes, she fully equipped and she wants to help you, but you have nothing to help her with. And she say, boy, let's go into this business, let's do that. And you don't have no idea, you don't have no dream, no vision, nothing. Take this woman out, listen to me carefully, man. If you have nothing to have her to work with you with, leave her in her parents' house. Leave her where she is at. Yeah? Some men take women out of the comfort of their own home, from the parents' house, where they have the water, they have the fridge, they have the bed, they have everything. And you take them to your place, and you can't take them beyond that. If you can't give my daughter better than giving her, leave her with me. Yes? It doesn't make sense. Taking my daughter from my house, and you can raise the level. Yeah?
Yeah, that's right.
Raise the level. Leave her where she is. Because she's not going to be in your house to be subservient. You know, to be to you the hero of food and the drawer of water. That ain't gonna happen. Yeah. So before you take her out, make sure you have a plan. Before I give you my daughter, let me know where you're going with her. What your vision is, where you're going with that child. Because I spent over $500,000 already for the first 18 years to educate her and to keep her up to that spot. To become educated, to be a helpmate. And if you don't have something to help you with, leave her where she's at. Because the meantime she starts becoming adventurous and start doing things that she always say, oh, who do you think she is? I'm a husband, I'm a man in charge, and you don't do nothing. What's your plan? And that's the problem when men come into a relationship with women. They have no vision. They're lacking that. They're lacking everything in that area. What's the plan to go forward? None. And the woman is fully equipped. God would never put a woman in your life if she's not strong as you, are stronger than you, to help you.
But isn't it shameful that a man will quarrel about a woman? Give him 15 seconds, he jump in bed with another same woman. Then why don't you just go with the boys and just call it quits, just be with the boys?
Well, it takes a lot of stuff. Like I said, is the body comes. They can't call it body. How women can speak with to talk to the boys. You know, I had this girl, I had this one, to see how mature they are. And that's not, to me, that's not maturity. Maturity is when you be able to control people, have a vision of where you want to be and how to leave an inheritance for your children and your children. But once you're married, the game changes. The game changes. It's no longer you and her. You see, the whole purpose of marriage is not just about you. It's creating a generation to be fruitful and multiplying.
Mm-hmm.
So every
with one woman, though, one woman.
Yeah, but you see, and that's, I want to support you right there with that, because Genesis chapter 6 make it clear that God was never pleased with men having more than one woman. This is what he said. I hope I could be right. If it takes to pull it up, Numbers chapter 6. He said, when the Son of God, right, saw the daughters of men, he said it took all that they himself, and God repented. That's why God repented. The day he made man. Right?
That's speaking about when Satan came down.
Genesis chapter 6.
Yeah,
Genesis 6.
His angels, and then they start to go after God children.
Let me get it right here. Number 6.
Number 6.
Genesis chapter 6. And it came to pass, and when men began to multiply on the face of the earth, and daughters were born unto them, that the sons of God saw the daughters of men, that they were fair, and they took them wives of all which they chose. Yes? And the Lord said, my spirit shall not always strive with mankind. For that he also is flesh, yet his days shall be 120 years. There were giants in the earth in those days. So that was a full stop.
It's evil spirit, evil man that came.
So the son, but hold on, no. Text, the sons of God did that sin. Wasn't evil men. The sons of God saw the daughters of men that were looking good, and they took as much as they wanted to disobey God's command. See?
Is that where the tall men come in, please?
Tall, dark,
the giants?
Tall, dark, and handsome.
No, seriously. Seriously. Is that where the giants came?
Tall, dark, and handsome. What's tall, dark, and handsome? I don't like tall, dark, and handsome men. So I don't understand why you guys keep saying tall, dark, and handsome.
Again, that's a variety space of lives. You don't like it, some women like it. All right? Some women love tall, dark, and handsome men. Some women love short men. Some short men love tall, fat women. Yes, they do. I have a friend, he's skinny and short as ever, but he loves big women. That's him. That's what he likes. I don't know why.
He probably just wants a babysitter.
Oh, yeah?
A babysitter? What does that have to do with being a babysitter?
But there are
why you want a babysitter, because
there are tall, dark, and handsome men. They're tall, they're dark, and they're handsome. Call them what they are.
Yes, I've been told that. Tall, dark, and handsome. Yes?
I hear that all the time, and my thing is
tall, dark, and handsome guy.
Okay.
You know?
But John, seriously though, can we put a footnote there? Because are these men, I'm just speaking like from the Bible, trying to get an understanding. Were these men that came down from heaven, were they once they came on the earth and they started dealing with the women and children were produced, did they become giants in the land?
Well, you say, the Bible can say, Connie says here, there were giants in those days, right? And also after that, when the sons of God came in unto the daughters of men, and they bore children to them. The same became mighty men, which were of old men of renown. So again, the giants was there, right? There was giants, there was tall men, there was big men there.
So they were giants.
Were giants in the land.
Tall in stature, yeah.
There was, if you look at some of the basketball players, they are tall men. They consider them giants as well. They were in like Shaquille O'Neal. Look at LeBron James. I see a picture with Kevin Garnett again, standing up alongside Paul Pierce, and like Paul Pierce is still tall, but he's still like a midget another guy, you know. But the point here is, Tex, God and never intended for man to have more than one woman. Yes, even when Jacob had to have Leah and what's her name, Rebecca, at the same time, right? The tradition, right? She had the older daughter had to get married first, then the young one. So he had to work another 7 years to get the wife that he really wanted. So he had two wives from the same household. You see? So, but fast forward to Mr. Moses, and a lot of people talking about, oh, you can divorce and marry anyone you want. God, Jesus correct that. He said, no, it was never like that from the beginning. It was never intended for men to divorce and have different wives.
Well, what are you talking about, Moses? You have to talk about the dispensation of the law. So that's totally different. But when we come into Jesus, anytime like we use the word Jesus, this is the dispensation of grace and mercy.
Yeah, but text
married. He did not intertwine, and he didn't come to dismiss the law, but to enhance it. That's where grace and mercy come from.
To fulfill, meant to finish a way, to do it right, to do it the proper way, right? But what was this? When we talk about the marriage now, and when we talk about having more than one wife or having more, it was never a principle of God for a man to have more than one woman. Never. When they decided to divorce their wife and have another one, they confronted Jesus about it and said it wasn't like that from the beginning. It was never that. But because of the hardness of your heart, Moses gave you that. He said we gave you, Moses gave you that. He raised everything. He said, no. You got it wrong. Moses gave you that law because of the hardness of your heart. He never said it come from God.
But he allowed it.
Moses, no, yeah, God allowed it.
Allow it because he wanted to keep that that strain. So if you're not going to keep yourself, just stay here. Hence the reason why in certain cultures, still now in Africa, you have men marrying how much, 15 and 16 wives?
Yeah, but this is not the order of God. It's not the order of God.
No, it's not. And my mother, father, which is what's his name that I never could remember his name anyway. He had a whole set of children in St. David's. Then he left and he went to St. Andrews, and then he had a whole set of children there. Then he went to somewhere else and have a whole set of children, and then come back to St. David's and have children with the children. So you find most of the Felix, they intertwine their families.
My grandfather had 29 children. Yeah.
And when he died, he was what? 104 children.
See, so that is a problem.
I don't know much of him, so I'm only saying based on what I hear, because I don't know him personal to elaborate much. Yeah, much
and see, men who are spreading their seed out there like that are irresponsible. And it should not be. It should not be at all.
I agree that. And some of the women, some of them know, and some the why women go with some men, even though they know the man has a wife or you have children, somebody else, is they're lacking of something for themselves. They're lacking that relationship, they're lacking that love, being loved, affection. All of that, and the guy come along and he talk the right talk to you, and you feel okay. I could, I could settle with that one. I don't. You don't have to live with me, but you come and visit me once in a while, You know,
a woman like that is a foolish woman.
No woman's gonna agree.
If man says that he's married, and you see the first year he is with you, no discussion. Okay, so you're divorced, you're not divorced, you're still married, you know, and I'm gonna have him still come in. Are you kidding me?
some women don't want.
And I can't say that because some women are just slippers.
There's women out there that just want to have a man just for a moment in time. Yeah, you might like that. There's women out there who say, you know what, I don't care. I could just, if when I want to go to a special function, I have this man to go to it. I have a man to go to it. I have a man just after I have sex with. He come, he give me a peace, and I go back to his wife. I'm good with that. A woman like that, they don't want to fight. They don't fight. Look, I know a man who has, he have his wife at home, right? And then he have his girlfriend. The girlfriend and the wife is good friend. He even have a child with the girlfriend, and the wife didn't bother, it didn't phase her. She didn't make a fuss about it. The child grew up to be big now, and big as grew up and everything. And she passing every morning, and before she go to her job, she pass and say, "Hey, how you doing today?" and everything like that. And the chat nice, and she go.
That's not gonna happen.
That with you, it wouldn't happen. There's like, women happening too. They don't care.
John, what's the name of that movie?
No, that's a really nice story. Movie.
Because it could not happen in my reality. There's no way I'm going to share my man. I'm not sharing my man. I'm not sharing, and definitely he's not going to have a girlfriend and we know each other. That doesn't happen in my reality.
It's based on her culture too. It's based on where she come from too. What's her background? What's her culture? What's the man culture?
Yes.
No, I don't want that. Personally, I don't want that. And the reason why I said it is because so back in the biblical days, you can get away with that, right? You may be able to get away with that. But in this day and time here, it's a no. It is a no.
You know,
having it.
Too many diseases.
She wasn't having it. Sarah encouraged it.
But after she got hers,
yes,
it was no more encouraging. When she figured out that she could have, everybody, hey guy, take a hike. Hey guy, take a hike. Not in here not today. I can tell you
gotta leave.
But Hagar was good until she started playing bigger than so you see me? I could break a child, you can't have any. Such a woman, right? And as she bigger in the house now. Hear me. I'm the woman here. You are barren, you can't make no child. Yeah? Then when Sarah become pregnant now, yeah, Sarah she said, no one talk now from you. You understand? She said, Abraham, get this woman out of this. So Abraham,
you gotta go.
Yeah, you gotta go. So she
don't need you anymore.
Knapsack, which she could son, and when she goes, she gotta get the hair done too. You didn't just let her go dry, but they gone. Yes, but watch this, Watch this. There's a part in the scripture, I can't remember Genesis somewhere there, where the Bible says, kill all the women who have slept with other men. That's the unmarried women. Kill all of them and take the children. I can't remember which part of the Bible it is.
Well, you definitely need to share that one because I never heard of that before.
Yeah, it's somewhere. Let me try to find it.
My son frozen, so that's why I'm not getting into the scriptures.
Listen, there is women out there who just want to go out there and have a good time. They don't want no commitment. They don't want to settle.
Exactly.
So we women are different. We want the whole thing. We want the commitment. We want the man. We want the husband. But in real life, there are many women out there who just doesn't want a husband. They don't want to settle down, and they just go out there.
Those are not mature women. Those are not. I said those women.
Thank God.
But it's a reality. Whether they are women or not, we're talking about real life and reality. We're not like that, or we're not going to do that. But in reality and real life, people do that. So this is what real life is. We're not living in a what do you call it? A fairy tale world, or in a world that is perfect, or a world that is. There are women out there who does that. Men out there who does that. And that is a fact.
Yep. And that's the problem. Yeah, that's the problem. That's the problem. If we have women on this earth here that is okay with being the side chick.
Mhm.
And we have men out here who don't mind spreading their seed thin
But
in every little place they can think of, then it's always going to be a problem. It's always going to be.
honestly speaking, whether they want somebody or not as a side chick, don't you think that when the woman truly go home, does she really mean that she want to be single? Does she really?
Let me tell you something. There's some women who tell you, okay, it doesn't matter now, because now they okay, they begin a relationship for 6 months. Okay. When they had Thanksgiving come around, when Christmas come around, when the holiday come around, and you're with your wife and you're not with them, they start having a problem because they feel lonely for themselves now. I'm here, I have a man, I can't get to go to here, the family. It's a creating problem for you. Then they start to disrupt what you have in your house. Is that they start getting bold now because you know what? I want him to be with me for Thanksgiving this time around. I can't stay by myself alone. And she had no other man but you. And you all the before the holiday season comes around. And Thanksgiving you're not there. Christmas you're not there. Canada you're not there. All the major holidays you're not there. 4th of July you're not there. You know, everything you're not there, you're with your wife. And they want to have you on those occasions too. They want to have that time with you too. But then you see, and that's where the problem comes.
That answers my question.
No, the problem came before that, John.
Yeah, go ahead.
They truly don't want to be alone. So they just say that. But really, in the back of their mind, they really need somebody.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That is true, Tex. That is so very true. You know, they said this to get the ear of the man so that they can get the man in their company, get him relaxed, and you know, yeah. So no, this is not the way. Most women who are sane and have good sense, they want a husband there. They want somebody to be able to share. And you know, the thing about it is that these men, they don't even care if you're by yourself, if the woman is by herself on the holidays. Some of them try to divide the day, you know, but the thing is that this is no good. This is why you should stay in your own yard and leave your neighbor's yard alone.
Don't cover the neighbor's side, right?
Yeah. Stay in your own yard, you know, because it's gonna cause problems. And guess what? That person, that woman who says that she's fine with being alone, guess what? She's gonna eventually make herself to your home, causing problems. Yeah, she's gonna be doing that.
I'm looking for the scripture. Somebody posted. I want to go quick back to it and Doris was something. Doris?
I don't think Doris is on.
So Doris get kicked out.
But let me call her.
She's probably get kicked out. Yeah, but the intention is always to have a man in their home, to have that man staying there with them, right? Women don't want a man to have sex. And let me say that clearly. Women don't only want a man to have sex. They want a man that they could come home to cook for. They want to do that. Women love to cook. Most women love to cook. Even though they can't, they will like to try to cook to impress the man to cooking for him, right? They want to make sure they keep a house. They want to be. Women are cultured that way. No matter where they come from, they're cultured to be a wife. Yeah.
Right.
The expectation is that I want a man I could be with to live with and to have that relationship with, to have that ability to communicate and man effective. You want to come home, a man can come home with and sit down and talk to. They want that. I don't know no woman who doesn't want that. Right?
Exactly.
And for me, I think that the culture had messed up the men, that you don't have to always go home to your wife. You could go home and have somebody that could be somewhere else, could be somewhere, right? And so doing is not a godly thing. It was never God's intention for man to have more than one woman. It never is. Yes, we stray. Yes, we walk into ungodly things. And those things create the problem. When you, wherever, the Bible says when you raise your sin is dead, but the gift of God is eternal life. What does that really mean to us? This means that you're physically dead? No. Some things in your life will die. Your relationship might die. You know, God didn't kill Adam the same day. He said the same very day you won't die, but you shall die. What died? his spiritual life died. His spirit.
Yeah.
But so a lot of people living a spiritual dead life until they get resurrected by coming to Christ, coming back and get spiritually resurrected. You see? So if you were dating different women before Christ, even when some men in Christ they date women, right? They have a death. There are spiritual deaths are taking place. They start decaying on the inside. Unless you come to that realization, look, I'm dying, spiritually dying, because I'm committing adultery, I'm fornicating, I'm doing such and such. You start dying and you recognize that you're dying. You will say, see that, Father, I'm coming back. And the prodigal son, you're coming home.
You know, John, there's one thing that I think that could straighten this all out, right? Yeah. Men would keep to their wives. They would not be spreading seeds. If we could do a worldwide law saying that if a man is caught cheating on his wife, right, then that man has to pay a big penalty.
Wow.
And then we can take the resources from that money and put it on the children. So I think that would be a perfect law.
You know,
right?
This law is already in the scriptures too, though. You know,
I'm talking about man's law. If we can make that man's law, it would solve all the problems. Men would stay home. It would be like, oh no, I don't have time to pay this $20,000. Make the fine healthy so that they can know that this is serious business.
Oh my God. Let me find my Bible. I think it's easier to find it. Oh.
I think the infidelity, the adultery, the fornication, all of that would just cease.
I don't know. Let me tell you something. A lot of times, what they say there was the law. If you kill somebody, they sentence you to death yourself. You were still killing people. Yeah, they will still kill people, even though the law is there to prevent you or to deter you from killing. No, the law is made for the righteous people. The law is made for the unrighteous. Now, if you kill somebody, the penalty is death. People still kill. You know, if a woman commits adultery, there's certain things back in the day you would do.
Veronica, text Doris and see if she's okay.
Yeah, I'm listening, John.
Yeah, so the Bible says here, let me read it. It's in Deuteronomy chapter 22. Yeah, it called the law of marriage. If any man takes a wife and go in unto her and hate her, right, and give occasion of speech against her, and bring up an evil name upon her, and say, I took this woman, and when I came to her, I found her not to be a maid. Watch this. So I decided to get married to a woman back in the days. That was in the old days. And when he had sex with her the first time, she discovered that she was not a maid. She had committed fornication. She had lost her virginity before she got married to the man. Yeah. So this man saying that he found that she had not a maid. Yeah. Then shall the father of the damsel, which should be called the damsel then, right, or the virgin, and her mother, right, take and bring forth the token of the damsel virginity unto the elder of the city in the gate. So which means now then he would have had to take the parents, the money that he paid the dowry. They had to come back and take that the mother and father had to go before the elders in the city now. Yeah? Right? And the damsel father shall say unto the elders, I gave my daughter unto this man to wife, and he hated her, right? And the reason why he hated her because she was not a maid anymore. And lo, he had given occasion of speech against her, saying, I found not thy daughter a maid. And yet these are the token of my daughter's virginity. So he paid the bride price, so to speak, yeah? And shall spread the cloth before the elders of the city, which means the cloth that they had to have a white sheet, and there's no blood come out after there's no busting, there's no thing of the virginity of the thing, right? You will prove that she was not a virgin, yeah? And the elders of the city shall take that man and chastise him. Yeah? So if in that case, the man had lied here against that young lady, he would have been the one being chastised, right? And they shall amass him in the 100 sheep of silver and give them unto the father of the damsel. So he'll have to pay more money now than he had paid before, because he lied. Yeah? Unto them, on the father and the damsel, because he had brought up an evil name upon the virgin of Israel, and she shall be his wife. He may not put her away all the days of his life. So when he married, when he make you take the woman, right? You see again, one woman. He can't choose, he can't have nobody else, he had to remain with that one until death. That's what it was. But if the thing be true, what is this now? If what he said was true, that she was not a virgin, the token of virginity be not found for the damsel, then they shall bring out the damsel to the door of her father's house, and the men of the city shall stone her with stones, that she die, because she had wrought fully in Israel to play the whore in her father's house. And so shall thou put evil away from among you. I have a real problem right there. Okay? So the men of the city she found her to be a virgin. Watch this, right? So now, because she's not a virgin, on the wedding night, it turned out to be true. She did not sleep with herself. So the same man in the crowd would have taken a stone and stone her because she slept with one of them there. But this hypocrisy still continues today. Even when Jesus came and encountered the woman that was caught in adultery, who was she caught in adultery with? You see? So you stone a woman to death, but not the man. Why?
And guess what? It's still like that to this day here, because you can find a woman who sleeps around and she's going to be damned, right, for life. But you can find a man who does that and he's, oh, that's my boy, they.
Yes.
You know, it's not fair, because it's not fair, because guess what? It should be equal treatment. If it's good for me, it's good for you.
And so and that's why I like that too, because it shows that there's a bias, yes, and a hypocrisy and all of that. But watch this though. We're going to make the point where he's sticking to one man to one woman, right? And the Bible says here, if a man be found lying, check for this word, lying, instead of having sex with a woman married to a husband, then they shall both of them die, both the man and that laid with the woman and the woman. So shall thou put our evil among you. So which means adultery for a man is found having sex. That man is found having sex with a woman and have a husband already. Both of them will be put to death. It was not accepted. Adultery was never accepted.
Right.
Yeah? Never accepted. See, so it's today we kind of being partial and talking about is a new creation, is grace now. Yeah, but Jesus fulfilled the law. It means that everything that was said in the law is still true today. Paul said, because we're not allowed, should we sin? God forbid.
God forbid, yes.
God forbid. So it's still not acceptable for a man to sleep with another man's wife. You see?
Well, even if the woman is not a wife, it still isn't okay, you know?
Exactly, because that virgin, if she slept, like, if the accusation that he made against her was true, she slept with somebody. She didn't sleep with herself. So where is the man? So why would you kill her and not kill the man that slept with her?
And you know, there's another example in the Bible with Tamar, right? When her brother Absalom, was that Absalom that came in and slept with her? You know, back in those days, you know, your virginity was
taken away,
had to be intact. And if it was taken away, then that means that you couldn't go off for marriage because nobody is going to want you, because now your name and your image and your reputation has been tainted.
Yes.
And so that's why his brother hated him for doing that to her. And she was like, how can I escape this? How can I, get away from this? No man is gonna want, me knowing that I'm not, wholesome.
And that was then in the Israel tribe of Israel, the Israelites culture. Yeah, Israel culture was that you have to be a virgin upon marriage. If you had slept with somebody else, you would not get married to nobody. Upon marriage, you discover that you have slept with somebody else, you'll be put to death.
Yeah, exactly.
So why are we punishing women and not men for the crime?
That's why I say we need the law.
Because I was men that make the law.
Men that make the law. That law here was not given. He never mentioned it was given by God, because Moses, it is culture to do. It is culturally, yeah. Because some stuff are given by God, and Moses will say that came from God. That was God telling him to do that. That God told him to say to the children of Israel, right? And there's something that God didn't give Moses to do. He did it on his own because of pressure from the people today. For example, the homosexual society, they want freedom to have the same and equal opportunity as married people. What they do, they form themselves an alliance and go to the government, pressure the government to make it legal for them to be with one another, right? And that was he's telling Moses. People go to Moses and pressure him to okay for them to do, right? And they did it. For example, the same thing of marriage again. He said, okay, then I'm tired with you, just give her a letter of divorcement. Let she go on to somebody else. But she only go on to 2 other men beside you. After that, she can't marry again. Nobody wants her. And she had to wear black. Yes?
Yeah. So, I don't know why it's always been harder for women, but I know that we as women, we are the ones who are there for the men. We're the one that bear the children. We're the one that has the pain. We're the one that has to suffer the body. We're the one that has to take care of the home. We're the one that, when the husband and the children get sick, they look to us. All these things here, but yet and still, it's like you do, but it's just not enough. Like the men are never satisfied, even if you try your very best to satisfy that man, in the home, sexually, just in every capacity that it takes. It's never enough.
So watch this here. There's another thing here.
Debbie Harper says, I'm ladies that buy dogs.
Who?
Debbie Harper.
What you say there?
Said, the men and the ladies, I'm the one to be committed because they have dogs.
Women or men?
The women, is she saying that's
Doris said that not all women that want a man permanent, like they just want to play, right?
Yes.
And you said something to the effect of they want like the holidays and they want this and they want that. So I said, well then, I'm not really mean that they want somebody. So she says.
And he also said that's what the problem comes in at.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it came before. Go ahead.
Not man alone. So man play games and ladies play games. So probably that's why they have dogs. What she said much earlier.
Hold on. As she rightly said, yeah, as you know, that's why most of them have pets, women. And let me tell you something. I want to say that here. There is bestiality is happening. Women have sexual animals, right? As well as
in this day and age.
Yes, and let me tell you a story. There's a lady that working at a certain bank downtown Toronto. Yes, her birthday, she left and go home, but she went downstairs in the basement and she had her dog having her time with her, and the friend walking on her. They came from the bank the evening, just came home just to have to drop by her to surprise her, and she was naked and she had a dog having fun. It happened. Yeah, she ended up losing the job, and she didn't lose the job. She quit the job because she couldn't take the pressure.
What can a dog do for you?
Well trained dog.
Use your imagination, Tex.
I don't have one. It doesn't work.
That is too Christianized so that she don't take us like that. You have never been. It's only here now. Tex we can't break in Tex out of this thing. But let me tell you something. Tex is sheltered. She's really sheltered spiritually.
So John, maybe like a month or so ago, right? This guy here mistakenly sent me a video.
Mistakenly? Oh, why didn't you call me so I could deal with him for you?
A video, and the video was talk about bestiality. The video was a man having sex with a turtle.
What?
Turtle? No, that's a new one. I heard it all now.
I saw one on Facebook a couple years ago. This guy posted this one having sex with a snake.
How does that happen?
I don't know. Yes. I saw one with the one having sex with a horse. Yes? With a horse. Yeah.
Now you know.
All this stuff for them is done out there. It's crazy. It happens.
I give God thanks that I'm retarded and I will stay like this for the rest of my life. I don't
So my
Father, keep me retarded, Lord. Don't ever open that brains of mine. Leave it shut. Shut. I don't know nothing else.
Most time when I see a big dog, my mind go right back to those images I saw many years ago. Women with big dogs. They have sex with a dog. And so it happens. Bestiality happens in this present time. It does happen still. There's people who do that.
Beastie?
Bestiality.
You see, Bible text. I'll come to it just now. It's right here. Go read.
I'm interested.
No, it's in scripture. I don't know. You talk about it in the Bible. So you skip the Bible pages in those texts?
There's a lot of scripture verse that I pass. That's why I stay in the New Testament now.
Well, you know, Tex, if you're going to accept the Bible, you got to accept all of it.
Exactly. You can't pick and choose.
Listen, my father say there are things and things. What you need to know, he came and he died for you. Repeat after me. He came and he died for me. He loved you. What did I say? He loved you. Live righteous. What did I say? Then I have to say, I would live righteous. That is all you need to know on the face of this earth.
Trust me. What the Bible is given for? So the Lord is just trying to show yourself approved. Yes?
Of course.
Text. If you don't know it, you can't educate people about it. You have to educate them about it.
I have enough.
So if somebody come to you and tell you, well, I have had sex with a beast, you tell me it's not a sin because he wasn't even really part of the Bible. What says that?
God will open a part of my mind when the time reach. All for now, all those is locked.
Have to learn about have a biology book about heart surgery, and he's a surgeon, and when he comes to cutting, he doesn't know what to cut. And I don't read about the blood spill, so I don't read that part. And I come and I know before him, he's cutting the wrong place.
No, he know what he has to do, but it shouldn't be just overflowing. It should be until the time reach. Oh yes, they say left, lower. Okay, left, lower. Well, you know, it's gonna come back to him. Don't worry.
Pilot, when the police at the crash, you can pull up the manual and start to look to see what to do. Yeah. However, let me go back to this piece here. Deuteronomy chapter 22, verses 24. 22-24. If a damsel, a young girl, that is a virgin, be bordered bestowed right onto an husband. Okay, so she have a husband. She's still a virgin. She's still a damsel there. And a man find her in the city and lie with her. So if she go out and she have sex with another man, right? Then he shall bring them both out into the city gates, into the gates of the city, and he shall stone them with stones, both of them. So if the man, if the woman is married to a man, and somebody meet on the street and say, man, you look nice and sweet and all the nice, and she said to go with him and have sex with him, both of them will be stoned to death. Right? That they die. The damsel, because she cried not, because she didn't say anything. So in that case, probably he might try to rape her, but she didn't say nothing, she didn't cry out. The damsel, because she cried not, being in the city, and the man, because he had humbled his neighbor's wife, thou shalt put away evil from among you. So he will be dealt with as well. He'll be killed for that. But watch this. But if a man find a bothered damsel in the field, and the man force her, right, and lie with her, then the man only that lay with her shall die. So if somebody come up on you and you didn't scream out and you enjoy the moment, you didn't say nothing. Yeah?
Hey, whoa, don't add my that man.
John,
Okay.
now you make Tex. Tex is going to look at everybody she see with a dog in a different way now. Why you did that? She
No
be
way.
looking at them funny with the dog.
No.
Don is
Once
not.
I hear, okay,
Don is
my philosophy in life, when I hear something, if it does not bring edification for me, my ears is closed. So after this, there is no memory of nothing.
Really?
And I
Really?
give back
John is not.
them for that.
John is not. John is not John tonight. He is Stephen tonight. Did you see what she had in her hand?
What am I doing?
I said, "You're Stephen tonight." Did you see what she had in her hand?
Yes, she had the story in the hand. But it's abomination. Yeah, it's abomination. I put abomination. So, but on to the damsel.
Doris wanted I'm to say something. Can we hear from I'm from Doris a bit?
No, I think I was talking about that, what John said about the dogs and the stuff with animals. But, in reality, Tex, those things exist. This is life, we don't, we don't get, we don't pay attention to those things, or we don't, feed into them, but they're all over not social media, Facebook block those things, but they're all over YouTube, they're all over different channels and, all sorts of things that people go look at those things and, they post them with no, so it's a reality. Now, how can people do that? I don't know. An animal, where I know growing up with animal as a pet, that's something, that you cherish, but people with dogs, and yeah, it's true. People does that, and it's sad. And yeah, this who was it? Debbie says it's an abomination to God. It is. Animals weren't created for that.
Yeah.
That's why God made man.
Exactly. But when we're talking about the adulterous part, and 24, Deuteronomy 24 also speak to that as well. And that's where it comes down to the part of men going out and have other women commit adultery and stuff like that, right? It says, it called the law of harmony in the nation. We're talking about the nation of Israel probably there. I think it is. When thou comest into thy neighbor's vineyard, then thou mayest eat grapes thy feet at thy own pleasure, but thou shalt not put any in thy vessel. You could eat as much as you want in the man's house. So if I go in my neighbor's vineyard and I see grapes, I could eat as much as I want. It doesn't put in a bag to go with. That's called stealing. Yes?
Mm-hmm.
So when thou comest into this standing corn of thy neighbor, then thou mayest pluck the air with thy hand, but thou shalt not move a stickle onto thy neighbor's standing corn. So don't take nothing from the eat as much as you want. You could cook in the barbecue, you could barbecue chicken, your roast your corn there, boil your corn there. Don't take it away, right? But watch this, 24. When a man has taken a wife and married her, And it come to pass that she find no favor in his eyes, because he had found some uncleanness in her. Then let him write her a bill of divorcement and give it in her hand and send her out of his house. Now, back, that was Moses' law. Moses gave them that law now because they wanted to, they fed up with Veronica. Veronica cooking. I don't like how cooking anymore. I don't like, you find something wrong to accuse Veronica for. She's coming home too late. She don't want to go to the girls. She always want to do something that is not what I like.
She talked too much. I always get that one.
Talk too much. Okay, talk too much. Right? So, text. She nagging too much. So here it goes again. She nagging too much. So I will give her, Moses said, okay, in that way, then let him write her a bill of divorcement and give it in her hand. No lawyer involved in that one. Just give her the letter and she's gone. No, nothing. He said give her anything else. Just out of the house. Probably good.
But you know, he didn't. Moses did not address what should happen with the children.
He didn't address that.
Yeah, see, that's the problem right there. You don't address what's going to happen with the children. You just give the men a free ride. They can marry and divorce as they please. No control. Exactly. No respect for the relationship, for the marriage, for the, no.
They fed up with the woman for whatever reason. They said us, Moses said us give her a bill, just write a letter. Hey, look, I don't want to be with you anymore. Blah 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 blah. Go get out of my house. But the children stays in the house. They had to work the land. They had to do it in the vineyard. She had to go out and go to somebody else, right? And when she is departed out of his house, she may go and be another man's wife. Now, a lot of people in church today will use that. Watch this. Will use that scripture to get remarried. Yeah, because that's what Moses' law says. To get remarried again. And if the latter husband hate her and write her a bill of divorcement and give it in her hands and send it her out of the house, or if the latter husband dies, which took her to be his wife, her former husband, which sent her away, may not take her again to be his wife. After that, she is defiled, for that is abomination before the Lord. And thou shalt not cause the land to sin, which the Lord God has given thee for an inheritance. So here it is. The husband put out, she married to somebody else, he put out, or he dies, she may not even return to the husband, right? She had to remain like that for herself.
Yeah, and see, that's another thing that was not addressed, because it is not her fault that, the husband feels like she's nagging and now he can divorce her for any little thing. It is not her fault, that, because God made us uniquely. Everybody's different, and so I may be a loud talker. I may talk a lot, but that doesn't mean that you want somebody that's quiet like a mouse. So now you divorce me, and it's not fair to me, because guess what? If you should have thought about it first. You should have thought about it, because then you should have that's what it means to know yourself, right? To know yourself, because if you know yourself, then you can say, well, I don't like a loud woman. I don't like a woman that talks a lot. I want somebody that's like a mouse, and somebody that's not doing much talking, that type of thing. But it's just some of the things that's in the Bible is just not, in my opinion, not complete, because it still leaves questions. Yes. It's not clear.
And that's why, Veronica, I believe that chapter 24 could be challenged, because Jesus Christ said, dealt with it, in Matthew, he dealt with it, because he condemned it in a sense. He said, we did not give you that law. That didn't come from the beginning. From the beginning, it was not so.
Right.
Because that 20 verse, Deuteronomy chapter 24.
Matthew 5 and 20. What is it? Did it was again? Matthew 5:31, I think.
Matthew 5:31 and Matthew 5:21.
5:31, I think that's what it talks about.
Hold on. They have,
There's
but
God in there, and then he said, he says, then you make her become an adulterer.
An adulterer, yes.
you make her become adulterer. So God, Jesus correcting them. You can't do that. You can't put her away. Yeah, and make her become adulteress. It's upon you.
Even though
So we as men should not be doing that.
have given her the certificate, he still make her an adulterer.
Yes.
Adulterer. So if she's going to get married to another man, she is the adulterer, make him she commit adultery, making him the adulterer. So that's why it's has to wait for them to die and for you to get married.
Well, I'm sorry, Tex. The reason why I don't agree with that, because some people
don't
genetically
don't
live.
agree with it. Just read it.
I read it. I read it. Yeah. Genetically, some people live to be 110. You may not be that fortunate.
Hold on.
And this is real talk. I'm talking real talk here. You know, for me, now, to those who can live by that, fine. I have no problem. Knock yourself out. But for me, I live in the real world. Your genes may be better than my genes. You may be, your grandmother may have lived to be 130.
So the next man that you're looking for, make sure that his genes is a gene that end at 50 for adventures.
These are Levi's genes. Make sure Levi's. But hold on. In all seriousness, right? All seriousness.
No, I am serious.
All seriousness here. If for example, you know you was not in the wrong, your husband, like in Moses' days, they said, you know what, you can't cook. I like how you're cooking again. I don't like how you're dressing anymore. Divorce. Yes? In this time, that your husband divorced you for this reason, this time. I mean, you talk too much, and you know that you're not wrong. And God say, I'll give you a desires of your heart. What will be a desire of your heart then? Nothing to that? You can marry it again?
Okay, so if God asked me to...
If no, because you can't marry to nobody else again, right? Because he's alive. Yes? That's what the Bible says. Okay, so I'll read the scripture for that in a while, right? But you can't marry again because your husband is still alive until he dies. You can move on and marry to somebody else. I mean, you're married to somebody who's never been married before. Now you're married to somebody who has never been married before. So what is this? If God asks you, what is your desire of your heart right now? You know you want to marry. You really want to say you want to get a new car, you want to get a new husband?
You know, John, I think me and you discussed this before, I think. But nevertheless, I don't believe that the God that I serve will put that on a person. And the reason why hold on. The reason why I say that is because if a man goes out and he goes out, he not only commits adultery, but then he has a whole nother family. See, that's the thing about it. These scriptures, they don't tell. It's just like a cookie cutter, right? You have to make yourself fit in that cookie cutter. I don't think the God that I serve he's much bigger than that. Okay.
It is so unfortunate that we use the scriptures for our convenience. And
no, I'm being real.
So then why don't you, okay, so and when God says thou shalt not kill, he didn't say human being or dog. So why don't you just kill somebody?
Okay, so hold on.
That's not what I want to do.
So, the scripture now. I want to read.
I don't find a need for that.
I'll be tight to do that, right? Okay. Well, here he says in chapter 7 here, and I want to go back to Matthew chapter 19, verse 9 just now. Probably I should do 19:9 before I come to that one. 19:9, right? Matthew 19:9. Yeah? 19:9. Yeah?
19:9.
And I say unto you, whosoever shall put away his wife, except it be for fornication. What this? So let's pause there for a moment. Remember in Matthew,
Morality.
hold on, in 22, Genesis in Deuteronomy 22, right? When the man married the woman, she was not a virgin. That sex before marriage is fornication, right? He discovered that she was not a virgin. Then he can put her away for that, right? That's the only reason for fornication, except it be for fornication. But watch this, and shall marry another.
Because she wasn't married.
Okay, so this is what I'm saying right here. It addresses the scriptures addresses if a man finds his wife in the act of adultery. But what about the woman? See, these scriptures here, they specifically talk about what the man can do. But guess what? The man, if he is the one, and still today, we're dealing with the men who are out there committing this adultery. So the Bible doesn't.
It's wrong. They're not really doing it. The woman was made for the man, not the man for the woman, right? So when the woman is made for the man, but she have played what they call the hoe in that case, right? She gonna just sex marriage, right?
Watch it, John. You got a lot of women here.
No, but that's what the Bible says.
It's true. It's true.
That's the Bible.
You make a
housewife. I'm saying that. I don't say that. That's what the Bible said. So if you tell me strong God first, yeah, she played that role. Hold on. And I say unto you, whosoever shall marry a woman, put away his wife, except before fornication, and shall marry another, commit adultery. So if you put away your wife, except before fornication, and marry another, you commit adultery. And whosoever married her, which is put away, doeth commit adultery too. So the woman that is put away is still, anybody might do, is still committing adultery. And the man
is still alive.
Yeah, and it's still committing adultery. So that being said here, let us go back. Let's go to Romans chapter 7. All right.
Matthew 5:31.
Romans 7. Let me pull it up here. Romans chapter.
Okay. So in the meantime,
yeah,
I have a question here. All right, we're talking about adultery, divorce, remarried, and stuff. So if a man leaves his wife, divorces his wife for another woman, he leaves the marriage, you try everything you can to make that marriage work. But he decides he's going to leave anyway. He goes, he married, he has a wife, he has all these children. So he committed adultery. So why should the woman not be able to marry and move on with your life or have a husband?
God is still looking at him as a sinner.
He's still a sinner. You shouldn't commit a sin.
Don't worry.
You shouldn't.
It looks easy, but God eyes is on him, and he's still your husband.
Yes, he's still your husband. He break the bond of marriage. Not you, he did it. He's still not, well, he's on him, but if you're going to do it still like he did.
So John, you and Tex are sitting here telling me that the God that we serve will allow a woman to be in bondage like that? I don't believe that. I don't believe that.
Let me tell you something. Listen, okay, this is what the Bible says here again, my sisters. Yeah. Know ye not, brethren, for I speak to them that know the law. Right? How that in the New Testament, right? How that the law had dominion over a man as long as he liveth. For the woman which hath a husband is bound by the law of her husband as long as the husband liveth.
There's a question here.
Hold on. Let me tell you a question after that. But if the husband be dead, she is loose from the law of her husband. Right? So then, if while her husband liveth, she be married to another man, she shall be called an adulteress. But if her husband be dead, she is free from that law, so that she is no adulteress, though she be married to another man. Wherefore, my brethren, ye also are become dead to the law by the body of Christ. Right? And that was talking about from a sinner to become born again now. You know, with Christ, join here with Christ in that case. Question text? Is somebody have a question?
Woman, okay. So you call a woman a whore.
Mm.
How do you call a man?
They-
whore.
A man whore. A man whore.
yes,
They're called men whore. Man whore.
yes, a male. Yes.
A seed giver. A seed giver.
Planter. Planter.
Or a papuntan?
No, Pafundan is a different thing.
Uh,
Pafundan is a kind of a faggot kind of thing, if you want to say that.
sorry.
Pafundan man. Man not always in woman business.
Sorry.
Yeah. A man who always been in woman's business, always quarreling and nagging man. You call him a Pafundan Doris. Text. A nagging man is called Pafundan. You always. Yeah?
And I'm saying that word.
Yeah, Pafundan man. This man like act like, behave like, and do things that women we want to do and all kind of stuff like that. Kind of Pafundan kind of man. Yeah. So yeah, but it was never going back to the original thing about the relationship. It was never God's intention for
Men to remarry or to
yeah. That was never God's intention. The intention for a man to have a wife and stick to wife until death. That was the intention. To have a family, to raise a family in the institution of God. That's what it should be. But again, men always shift away from God's plan. Men never stick to God. We always drawn away by our lust of our own flesh. So I see Debbie, I want to go after Debbie. I see Georgina, she look good, she wears some nice pants to church and her nice underwear printing nice, and she bust is button down, two buttons down, you know, and she see me, she's flicking she head over and she watch her head, brother, and she gone, you know, enticing the brother. It happened in church. I'm joking. So,
well, you know, some men have a vivid imagination. Even if they come to church dressed like Tex with the thing over her head, they still will find that attractive.
yes. So and then those are going to right in front of the church, the short skirt, and the pastor of the preacher, the leadership in the church, all the men sit up there, they sit down. Every minute they're switching their legs. Yeah? They do it. They think they're joking. So yeah, the temptation is always there, and men are drawn away by the lust of the flesh. And that is a big problem. But if men, like, you know, I was giving a joke, this is no joke, it's serious. A couple of Sundays ago, I was in church. I was in the system, some system booth there. And my wife was walking across, you know, I just admired my wife walking across. And I see my mind, I said, damn, she look fine. You know, another sister sitting next to me, she said, why are you watching the woman so far? I said, well, that's my wife. We want me to watch you. I can't look at my wife. You know what I'm saying? So I am, even when I see
lusting at your wife in church?
I'm not lost at my wife. I look at how
Well,
good.
the John that was sitting behind you was looking too.
My wife look fine. My wife look nice. She dressed nice. She went to church, she looking good. So I'm proud of, you know, I like what I seen, you know what I'm saying? And I'm just sharing that my wife walking across the church floor going across. And I, you know, man, that is good. She's looking good, you know? But probably other people looking too. Other men probably looking too. There are men there. So I don't know. But I look at my wife. I look at nobody else's wife in church. I look at my wife, you know? So even when I'm here, you know, and my wife passing to the studio, you know, sometimes you see me looking, sometimes I looking at her. She just have the kitchen there. And then she passes to me like a wave and stuff like that. But that's what it is, you know? And I think the problem with men that we have not had a covenant with our eyes when it comes to adultery and seeing other women. I think that's the biggest struggle for a lot of men, married men or not. The struggle is to stop letting your eyes lead your head. Yeah? And women always want to look good. And women doesn't always try to look good for men. Women like to
look good for ourselves.
No. Yes, that's one to, and look to compete with other women to see I could dress better than you two. You know, I didn't even know somebody just like them and I know the person have the eyes, they want to compete with other women.
I dress for me.
No. I'm saying, I'm not generalizing, I'm not saying you impact women who dress to compete.
Okay, say
Yeah,
some, because when you say woman, I don't like blanket statement. Say some.
Why you always call it blanket statement? I'm making a
Yeah,
reference
when
to
you
women.
say no. When you say man, you mean a blanket. When you say women in general, that's a blanket. You gotta say some, because we all like to feel good and we're very blingish for ourselves.
Yeah,
And not only that, John, we as women, we want to look good for ourselves. And guess what? If somebody
We
else
know
sees
who
us,
we are.
it's just
I
a
know who I
bonus.
am. I
Look,
know
Yeah,
I'm
it's just
good.
Right.
it's just the icing on the cake. That's
I
all.
get some compliments of how the ladies on the show looking really good. You know what I mean?
I know who I am, so I gotta always look good.
Yes,
You
I
that's
guys,
don't have
right.
to look good for him. I
I
look
know
good.
that's right. That is right. You got
Yeah.
that
And
right.
and John, even when we're in our home, we're dressed.
yes.
If we're here by ourselves, we're
Yeah.
dressed. Because why? We want to look good for ourselves.
Yes, and nothing wrong with
And
that.
ourselves.
Even me, personally, I take good care of myself. You understand me? Every morning I make myself look good. I shave my hair, I clean up my thing every time, my nails, I do everything. My wife washed my.
And by the way, that shirt you have on and your jacket, it looks very nice together.
Thank you very much. I'll take a bow on this one.
Come on.
The color looks nice on you. The shirt, the material, the shirt. I'm looking at you on the big screen. It looks nice.
See, there you go. So I do take care of myself. I know, and you know, my wife bought a food thing to do food. You know, what you call it, machine, little thing, right? So she could do my feet for me. She washed my feet for me ever so often, cut my nails, put the cream on it and the things, she make it look nice and feel good. When I come on there, she scrub everything, had the thing to behind the food. She do all this stuff on them. You know, she know I take care of myself and I do that too. I love to look good, smell good, but even though I'm broke, I still like to look good and smell good. You know what I'm saying? Yes. Look good, smell good, but still broken. But when I say broken financially, you know, I'm not broken in the spirit. Yeah, but you know, I'm saying this to say we have to take care of ourselves, yes? And
Yes.
nothing wrong in looking good, smelling good. Even though you're broke, still look good. And never
All
cut.
the time. Best time.
Let me say something to people listening. And don't use the word, don't say you're broke anymore. I want to change that language.
Actually challenge for right now.
Yes, I'm overcoming a financial situation. Yes, a financial predicament. Don't confirm that you're broke. Confirm that you're overcoming a financial.
Or you can say, my father hadn't dropped down the money yet.
Yeah, I'm waiting on
I'm waiting for him to open up those windows.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you know, you have to look good. You have to make yourself. You don't want anything about self gratification. Not to edify yourself. Nothing that I'm better than anybody else. But you know, we have to feel good about ourselves. And if as a woman you're not feeling good about you, who won't feel good about? Even not feeling good about yourself, you walk around depressed. What happened to your man?
Exactly.
Oh, no, I just like the dog scratch you, the dogs, you know, the fall juke you, the horse kick you, the boss bunks you. All they happen to you. Like, you know, let's make yourself happy. Make yourself happy. I mean, I'm at a point where I want to see more happening. I want to do more. I was telling my wife last time, I said, okay, like, you know, she told me to walk me out to the car in the morning, and I kiss her inside and go outside, and she walked right to the car with me, and okay, have a good day, I'll turn, kiss her again. I said, okay. I said, yeah, I'm okay. I said, okay. She said, drive carefully, be careful on the street. Now, I leave home with that excitement, that feeling. I excited to go, I reached my hours, I reached I work with 8 hours gone to come back home again. You know what I'm saying? So you have to feel good about yourself. When you're excited about life, people will be excited about you.
Absolutely.
People respect you. Imagine you have a yard and you don't keep it clean. People will treat it the same way that you treat it.
Yeah, that's right.
When I just bought this house, I'm going here. The owner, the person that bought the house for us also fixed the fence for me, right? Your broken down fence, wire mesh fence. He said, I'll come and fix it for you. Almost 6 months, no fence. 1 year, no fence. I called him twice, no, he didn't come and do it. The city wrote me to fix the fence. $6,000 they charged me to do the fence, they come to do it.
Ooh, wow.
that process of time, you know, the fence was broken down, car will pass and bounce it up, put back up, try to block and stuff, maintain people through. It hasn't treated right. Guess what happened? My wife decided, hey, honey, let's fix the fence. Yeah? So listen to me now. See, that's why you need a strong woman or stronger woman mentally about, you know. She said, no, I'm going to take care of that project. You know what she did? She went out, she called the company, and need a fence, they came, they measure it. And one evening I came from work, the fence was up. She took care of that. Guess what happened? Nobody chose stuff in there again. You see, they respect it now, okay, it's well kept. The grass is nice done, everything done now, no broken down fence. When they're swinging in the corner now, they're afraid to bang the fence because it's, you know, it's well put up now, everybody respect it. If you not maintain, people will not maintain for you. You have to take responsibility for yourself and look good, smell good, greet people when you meet them, you see them, say, hi, good morning, how you doing today? If you had to buy them a coffee, you go to the coffee machine, pick up a coffee for Susan. They will appreciate you. They know that you believe in yourself, you have value.
Yes.
Don't show it, nobody will respect you for it. You see?
Right.
So we have to love ourselves first. When you love yourself, you can love other people better than you, same as you. You can just love people anyways, because they love you. And when you love you, it will show and people will appreciate you.
Yes, that's right.
That's right. Self-love is the best. You have to love yourself. Self-love. Woo-hoo. Best,
Yeah.
best.
I'm an advocate for that.
Self-love is contagious. Yes? Everybody want to be like you after they see you. You know, people say, I wish I was like this person. Why you wish you was like Oprah? Because you appreciate how she take care of herself, how she do what she do, but do you willing to do the things that she did to get where she are? Appreciation for self is most important. Once you appreciate you, anybody else come in second place. But here what? If you put people first, you'll never come second. Appreciate people. Do that's why the Bible asked the man to love his wife as he loved himself and gave his life for it. Love your wife as Christ loved the church and gave himself for it. And the man had the responsibility of loving. The one is to respect and honor. And if there's no love, there's no honor. You understand me? So if I'm not loving my wife, you will not honor me.
Right, that's right.
I must love myself and treat my wife the same way I want to be treated. See? So if I'm not treating her the way I should be treated, if I'm not taking care of me, I can't take care of my wife. Have you ever been in an airplane and they said, if you don't put that oxygen in your mouth first, you can help nobody else?
That's right.
In marriage, you have to take care of yourself and take care of everybody else. See? So it's a condition for living well, for functioning effectively in your marriage. You can't live a life where you don't care about you and expect other people to care about you. You have to care about you.
Yeah, that's right. But John,
if you don't love yourself, how can you love others? You must love yourself first in order to love somebody else.
So this is the problem, going back to the men now, because the Bible says that when a man leaves his mother and his father and his mother, he gets into his wife and they become one flesh, right? So that means that he is to love his wife, his bride, like Christ loved the church. So that's the thing about it. You know, these men, they go out and they don't honor Christ, they don't honor God, and they have no control. They go out and they try to love on. I'm not going to say love. They try to love on all these different people here, and it becomes a problem. So when the man doesn't have a vision, or he doesn't have self-control, whereas the woman can depend on him, and that's where we all fall, and the family fails, because when the man is out there, he has a wife at home, and he's dealing with the sister on the job, or he's dealing with the sister down the street, or the sister at the store, or whatever the case may be. You know, he's now putting himself in a position where he doesn't want to love the wife like Christ loves the church. And that's where the problem is. I find that this is the problem right here. Of course, women go out and have adultery too, but you don't hear it as common as with the man. And if we could all get the men straightened out, I think we would have less divorces in marriages, inside marriages. And then the woman can depend on the man and have confidence in the man, and then the marriage can work out, but
as you said something there, I want to just bring in another aspect of this whole relationship stuff. A lot of men, they're married, are young, they're not even married, they have children and stuff like that, right? And you approach them to take a life insurance, and they say, hell no, I ain't going to enjoy money. She and some other man go beating that money, right? What am I doing that for? But you see, if a woman, if you have an insurance policy, it's not for you. It's for your wife and the children. So she won't have to go looking for another man when you leave. If you get another man, it's by choice. Yeah? She decides when she wants that. Because if she doesn't have the money to take care of the children, well, guess what happened? Any John Doe comes along and talks sweet in her ears and promises that she'll go with him. And he only comes because he wants to get to eat the cookie. And once he get the cookie for a while, he move on to the next victim. And then she's left with another child by him, probably, and then he move on again. But if she have $1 million after he passed away, house paid off for, put her in the house, she don't decide, she ain't worried about no man at all. Very rare.
But
So I'm encouraging men to don't see life insurance as just for you to get from it, but it's for your wife and your children. Yes, that's what it's for, not for you.
Right. So when you have a man who has 2 and 3 families, so who's gonna have the insurance? The wife, lady number 1, lady number 2.
Well,
is lady number 1.
Lady number 1, but if a well good thinking man who think about his children, he'll also make sure the other children, if you have 2 children, the other woman, they get something. I have a friend not too long ago had an accident, yes? And insurance had to pay out. He got a good sum of money. But when they asked him how much children he had and where they are, and if he had taken care of those children, oh my goodness. The deal was, and the lawyer did that to him. I think the law was unfair in one thing, but it was a good thing to do. All those children he had not supported for years had to get money from the deal.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
That's good.
Everybody.
That's good. Oh.
Yes, he did not pay the child support or whatever. Even though being married, he had to give them a portion of the money that he had. So you end up with a little bit of next to nothing. But all the children got money from the
and that's good for him, because some people have to learn the lesson the hard way. And he probably lived for so long until he thought he had escaped.
Yes.
And sometimes God openly rebukes us.
Yes. I have a way of playing footsie with you sometimes, Yeah, come back around and haunt you. But I think it's in good taste to and I want to advocate for men to stay with one woman, raise a family, and women to respect your husband and work with him. Not to be bothering him over every little situation. Like, I put your eyes to this guy calling for Christ to come down. But the truth about it is, it's important to maintain a family and raise children properly, to see the love from both mother and father. So they will take that into their relationship, especially men with sons. Teach your son how to be the father, the provider, the helper, and when daughter will be looking for a husband just like daddy. Because she ain't going to settle for less than daddy. She look better, same as daddy or greater. Yeah? And women will teach the daughter how to prepare and to be a wife, a helpmate to the husband. So they learning from the mother how to take care of a home and how to serve the husband. Right? And vice versa. Men, the sons, the daughter, the same way. Because daughter's going to look at how daddy treat mommy. And if he treats mommy good, she ain't gonna settle for less than how daddy treats. Daddy's always taking care of mommy and making sure mommy, all right, everything. She wants the same thing or even better than her daddy had.
John, and as you talking, I'm thinking about your daughter, right? The youngest one, because that's at that age, that's what we have to start teaching them.
No. Subtract that. Abby would not take anything from anybody. You know what I'm telling you? All nonsense stop at Abby. Probably they may able to talk to Genesis because she's mild. Abby is mild. Abby will say, "Oh hell no, that's Abby."
Well, even I'm thinking about even the men Genesis age, right? Who's growing up, if they don't have a strong father in the home to teach and guide them, she too will, may not get the husband that she deserved.
God forbid. Genesis is not as quiet as you think she is.
Mm-hmm.
Have you hear her speak? Very intelligent. Ain't no John Blow coming across the street and say, "Hi, sugars." She asking you a lot of questions.
But Tex, we say that and we hope that, but we have to look at reality and that age group and what's going on.
My mind is Genesis' mind is locked at what she knows now, not what she wants to know tomorrow. Everything that she's gonna know for tomorrow, it is in her head today.
I think Genesis is really piggybacking on how I live here.
Young did. He had a little girl talk in the morning time. He said,
we knock heads together, really. And I can understand a teenager want to have and do what you want. But my thing is that I tell her straight up, I have to cultivate the right mindset in you.
Mm-hmm.
From a man perspective, what men do to women. I know, I have friends, I see what they do. I don't appreciate it. I want to guide you away from those kind of men.
Please do.
That's my instructions. And she know that. She know what I stands for. She know what I believe in. And she may do everything right, but I have, and she know what I expect, what Taki's expecting of her. And I think that when you sit them down and talk to them, you have that conversation with them. Yeah. But you have to remember that the out of your sight, when they go to school, you have them for 2 hours in the night and 2 hours in the morning. You have 8.5 hours in school, 2 on the bus and 1 on the bus, 9 hours or 90 hours away from you. The influence that is bombarded with peer pressure, the teacher teaching something that you don't teach them at home. Teachers don't come from the same mindset. The group, the family, friends that you associate with, they have the same belief and structure as you have. So what they do, imagine 5 or 6 children or 12 children that you associate with have different philosophies, different belief from their own home culture. And she's now in the middle of me, and now she's about with all these other 12 people to balance her life out. Well, daddy said that, well, your father is old age, your father is this and that. My parents do this, that way. My parents, and we could go and come when we want. We could just tell mom we're going and then come so that I can go. I'm a tutor.
So the thing is, John, the problem is like you have to look at history. The problem is not the women, right? It's the men.
Well,
so that's the thing. You're probably gonna have to start looking for her a husband now.
Well, you know something? If you look at the Bible, in the beginning, the father that give away the children, This thing where men come at the door and how do we date nowadays? Not how it used to be back then. The father would give away the child.
Right.
Yes,
right.
God was the one responsible. Now, let me go back to one thing. Eve was never around when God gave Adam the instructions. Yeah? He had all the instructions before Eve showed up. Yeah? Yet, Adam allowed Eve to convince him to eat the fruit. And then when God approached him, he didn't approach Eve, he come to him. And before he talked to him, he said, he said, the woman you gave me. Like for real? You're the one that should be holding Eve responsible and say, hey, we are not to be doing this. Adam put
right, but in the end, guess who got punished? Both.
Yes, but I say no, it was the responsibility of the man to ensure that this didn't happen. And Adam failed miserably, may I say. He failed big time. And then he tried to turn it around on the woman again.
Right. So now you have a lot of women, especially women of color, who are now business owners who's doing their own thing, living in these big luxury homes, luxury cars, everything. They have everything but what? The husband.
Well, exactly. And that's not, you see, I think my sister said something very, very, let me see if I can pull it up. She said something very, very unique.
Miss Peters.
Huh?
Miss Peters, she talks about I think men chat because they don't have a relationship with God, or
Of
they don't
course.
have the word inside of them.
Amen. Okay.
Mhm.
And I love that. You know why I love it? Because when Eve was brought to Adam, he was at God's feet. He was walking. You understand? He was in a relationship with God. Yeah? So when a woman go out and she meet a man, well, the worldly people, she don't care if he's God's foot or not. But when a woman in Christ, a godly woman, has to make a selection, she not doesn't come to church every Sunday. Doesn't qualify him to be a husband either. Doesn't mean that he has feet of God either. Doesn't mean that he submit to Christ either. He could be in church, but doesn't have a relationship.
Right.
Yeah? So I like what she says there, and it's true. Because if you don't know God and what the word of God said for your life, yeah, what the word of God said, when man should have a wife, not 5, but 1. If you go and realize that God, his spirit will not dwell with man who do that. Yes? Because that's what he said in Genesis chapter 6, his spirit will not always dwell with man because of the same adultery and this kind of life. So God wants you to have a relationship with him as a man. So a woman must look for a man who have a real one-on-one relationship with God. Yes?
Well, technically, the woman is not supposed to be looking, but I get what you're saying.
Yeah, but if she not should be looking, but it's saying that our world today, not where, you know, a lot of people have an airplane mentality. Something happened, they send them away. Send them to England, send them to Canada, send them everywhere. So they out of the house of the father, out of the house of the mother. Nobody, they come here 18 years old, 19 years old on their own. Yes? So they single and they could leave how they want. No mommy to watch me. And they could send the barrel back home. And mommy said, I send me a barrel. She sent me $100. She don't know how she do it. If she dancing tables, if she do whatever, whatever. But she send the money, she send the barrel, and she happy. When she was home in England, she sent them away because she don't want her to be embarrassed because she having 2 different boyfriends and she get pregnant early. But she send her away. And so many people I see them, they come here. Guys probably see them too. They send them away to escape the embarrassment and they live in a different life in America. They're sleeping, they're going to party, they're having sex, they move on everybody else. In Grenada, they call them a Lego beast, right? And Doris?
Yep.
You understand? But they're out here now and they're free. Nobody, no mommy, no like to watch them. They're in an apartment for themselves, they pay the own rent, they live in a basement, they live on the 3rd floor, whatever. Nobody control them. So they do what they want as they will please. Right? But the sons come out here and do the same thing too. The sons come out, mommy and daddy, and they do watch me. I'm 20 years old, I'm 18 years old. I could go to the bar like daddy used to do back then. I get paid Friday, I could sit down by the bar. I have no girlfriend to go home. I know, even though I have a girlfriend, I got a girlfriend, I'll stay and drink by the bar, go home drunk, we go back. You know what I mean? So the responsibility, the accountability is not there. Nobody to hold them in check. But the men have the responsibility to ensure that they raise a proper family. It's upon us. And come on to the point and make Veronica. You want to have the house, you have the car, everything. Yeah, that's her level of success. I think when we talk about a successful woman, it doesn't mean a successful household under God. She may have all the material things, but she herself doesn't have a relationship with God. She just gained the whole world, but she's soul is lost. Yes?
Yes.
Okay. And next thing is, okay, I raise the children for myself.
Mm-hmm.
But raising a child by yourself, the other father is still missing something. Yes?
Exactly.
Yep.
Successful with money, successful in your career, but fail in your family structure.
Exactly.
And so it's from
and so now we look at you know, especially with Black families, especially with Black women, it is hard if your preference is to be married to I won't say African male, but to a Black person or whoever. You have to almost, like, this day and time here, go outside of your race just to get somebody that is going to be loyal, that's going to be you know, family man. It's like it's almost, because it's like the Black men, they don't want marriage. They don't take marriage seriously. They don't take the covenant serious, you know.
Yeah.
Most men, if they
a lot of black men they're more committed than a black woman, a white woman, a brown woman. There are some men that are just committed all the way through, and they'll suffer with you until death do part.
where are they?
And
Send them my way.
My father-in-law, he's too old for you.
Yeah, exactly. Well, send the younger ones. No, seriously though, you know, the thing is that I guess it may be different according to the culture, but you know, that's been my experience. You know, I grew up with a lot of brothers, right? And I've seen them get off the phone with one girl from the next girl to the next girl, and they're telling all of them, "Hey, I love you, girl. I've been thinking about you all day." You know, it's things like that the boys grow up to be men and they don't want to be responsible for being the head. They don't want to be responsible for leading the family. They don't want the responsibility of taking care of the wife and the children. They just don't want the responsibility. And so that's why, going back to what Doris said at the beginning of the show, where the women want to just be free, they just want a good time, because in the back of their minds, I'm thinking that they believe the men are not, they don't want to be there anyway. They don't want to be there, and you know, they just looking for a good time. But if men could be respectful, if men can say, you know what, we're just gonna just go on a man's retreat or something, I don't know, and just say, hey, we men, we're just gonna do right by our wives. We're gonna do right by our families and stuff. If we can just get the men on board to do that, it would be life-changing for families.
Right.
So,
I want to play a video for you guys. I've been playing here more once. I want you to listen to this, right? Because it's important. This is what we're talking here right now. And I want to bring it in light of what you said, Veronica. All right, so check this out.
My position is that the Black woman's disrespect and rebellion against the leadership and the authority of the Black man is a direct cause of the breakdown in our Black family structure. Now, of course, there are many Black people who consider those fighting words, because as Black women, we have never been subject to the kind of examination that our men have been subject to since we have been here. We have been somewhat protected and shielded from any kind of critiquing about our personal behavior, whereas our men have always been up for examination. The book is not an attack on Black women. I have never said that all Black women do everything that I list in my book. None of us have lived long enough to do everything that I list in the book, but most of us do some of the things that I've listed in my book. And I do say that it is not because of generalizations that we are all victimized by some of the negative patterns of behavior in the book, but the book just represents our collective contribution. This is some of everything that we have done or that we do daily that contributes to the breakup of our relationship, the destruction of our man, and the failure of our children to be able to function. They did not tell us that all of that being my own person and I'm independent would lead to separation, loneliness, celibacy, and lesbianism. They didn't tell us that if you give up the man, you're going to take one of these things and it's worse and it will destroy your nation. They didn't give us that information. They made us think that it was some kind of glorified position to brag about the fact that I got my own job, my own credit card, my own car, so I don't need no man. I don't even know how we got that mixed up. Ain't none of that got nothing to do with being with no man. Yeah, we have some serious relationship problems that nobody has been able to address us on because everybody wants to pretend that this is not going on. Over 60% of our women are single, widowed, separated, or divorced. We don't have a man. I just came out of Florida. They got a housing complex that the Urban League built, which is a Black organization that is for women and children only. They say they don't allow any men in there. I didn't have time. Real bad. That's the silliest program I've ever heard of. You know the women that had men, if they got a bunch of children, they need fathers. They need protection. We hear about the drug problem that we have in our projects across the country. It's one of the major places that we have a drug problem. You know, we talk about the great strength that we have as Black women. Well, the welfare department don't rent government apartments to single Black men. Those apartments belong to Black women who are allowing this to go on in their home. We have not looked at what part of the responsibility do we share. Yes, Black men sell a lot of drugs, and a lot of us Black women get the money from them drugs and buy some of these fancy clothes we wear. Drive around in some of these fancy cars. He is not doing these things alone and without support from us, whether they are good or bad. See, we have a lot of power. We are very strong women. I'm saying that we're using our strength in the wrong direction. We're using it to tear our man down, tear our nation down instead of building it up. Having an education and a job does not necessarily mean you have a successful life. I keep telling Black women that to raise a child, they say, well, I provided with food, clothing, and shelter. That's not raising a child, that's maintaining one. To raise a child, you need a parental coalition of a man and a woman. We have sons who, by not having a father in the home, they don't know how to respect women. They take on the Black female emotionalism. They're doubtful, they're indecisive, they can't make a decision. They don't know what to do about being a man because we can't teach them that. We don't have that knowledge. We have daughters who grow up in a home where they don't see any affection, where there's no man there. They go out into the world and try to mate. They don't have no idea how to be no woman to no man, how to function in a house with a man, because they haven't seen it. Most of our children, just like us, get all the information we have about how you be with a mate off television. It's the only medium that shows us anybody being together. Those rules have not worked for us. The white woman's liberation movement, we don't have anything to do with that. We have not been under the control of the Black man for over 500 years. So what do we have to get liberated from them from? Been our boss. That's the white woman and her man. They're going through that, and that's their business. We don't have any business being in that. They only introduced it to break down the civil rights movement. Civil rights movement started with the Black man, the Black woman, and the Black child standing together, trying to plead for freedom, justice, and equality, and more benefits in the country that they had to have built. They threw the white woman in there with the women's liberation movement and made it a woman against man thing. That created a big separation between Black men and Black women, because then everybody started going for self. Then they bring the welfare system in and tell us in order to feed and clothe and house our children, we have to give up our man. You have to put the man out of the house. When the white farm wife goes to the government for subsidy for the farm, they don't tell her to get rid of the farmer, they keep that family together. But in the Black community, they make it a requirement because they want to keep endorsing into the Black community that the Black man is no good and that he is not deserving of respect. He is not deserving of us letting him give us any protection or instruction, and that we are better than them. The major responsibility that the Black woman has had on the earth for the trillions of years that we have been here has been one of nutrition and birthing children. Those two things have a great deal to do with the survival of any people, reproduction of the nation, and feeding them the proper food so that they can live. Those are very important jobs. Those are very powerful positions, because it puts us in a position to decide who's gonna live or die and how slow they're gonna die by what we feed them. We have a very powerful position. That's not a small role that we play. We have just been taught to misrepresent and misuse that power. The people who we have been counting on to give us the truth about how to get along have failed. White people don't know how to get along. They don't have that information themselves. They don't get along with nobody on earth. So they have no information to impart to us about how we're supposed to get along. They change their relationship rules at will. We have tons of Black children around this country that I hear from who have grown up traumatized by the fact that they were referred to as the outside child. You know, when we were having children like that, they called it illegitimate children until the white woman started having them, and now it's single parenting. They changed the rules according to what they're doing. So I've called on our people to change them depending on what we want to do, what our needs are. There's another need that has not been addressed in our community, because nobody will deal with it. And that's one that God did not create three sexes. We only have men and women. Now, I have not said that we should reject the sisters who try and act like men and the men who try and act like women. I'm not saying to reject them from among us, but they need to be taught. We don't have to accept that as some kind of normalcy, because that's not normal. I'm trying to demonstrate how they have set rules that they have forced us to follow that they don't even follow themselves. They change the rules to suit them when they get ready. We can change them to suit us when we get ready, especially if we have what we have now, which is a failing system. It hasn't worked for us. We don't have to be ashamed that it hasn't worked for us. But we do have to be ashamed of the fact that we keep plodding behind it and not trying to make the corrections that will help our people to survive.
So that was Ms. Shabazz talking about the Black woman, the family structure here. Veronica, I brought it up because you were talking about the family, the woman and the man rules and stuff like that, and the successful Black woman who have a car, the house, and how eloquently she put that together. How she categorized them in the way that she did. It was even with the man not being in the house, you could give a single Black woman with children a house, but the man can't get it himself. And if you have to get rid of the man in the house. So a lot of stuff that our men go through is systematic, but we have to be conscious enough to not allow that what they're doing to us to destroy us. And that's why I think Ms. Peters, Georgina said, talking about we need to have that relationship with God. Yes? When you have that what the system of the world is doing would never affect you, because you're now under the direction and leadership of the Holy Spirit. Yes?
Right, that's right.
If we have not taken this, and that's why I like this tape in particular, because it's longer, but there's so much nuggets, so much food for thought in that video, that it level of consciousness to the level that, wow, I never look at it that way. But that's what they did. The Black family was the husband, the wife, and the child, looking for equal as everybody has. Oh, she said no song. Sorry. Let me fix this song system here. Sorry about that. So yes, I was saying to my listeners and the others that wasn't hearing, that video have really immersed itself in teaching us how to live, what we shouldn't do and what we shouldn't do, what they did to us to become dysfunctional families. I was at the point of talking about the Black liberation movement was started the Black man, the Black woman, and the Black child seeking equality for everybody. Then they put the white woman in it. Let's talk about the liberation movement with the feminism movement coming into it. There was no feminism and stuff in the Black community like that until they brought it in and tried to separate us, to divide us, to conquer us. You see? And when the woman goes for welfare or go for help from the government, say, no, you have to leave. You can't live with your husband to get it. When the white woman go, they never try to leave and let the husband to be out of the house. You see?
Yes, that's right.
One standard for the white and one standard for the Black. Because if we unite as a people, they can't control us. You
right.
See? And they use that to break down the family structure.
And not only that, John, but I'm looking at the man, right? I'm going back to the man. If he is a strong Black figure in the home, if he is doing what he's supposed to do as far as his wife and his children in the household is concerned, you won't have those issues. I'm so sorry that the men did not choose to say, you know what, I don't want the government to, because I had a father that was like that. He told my mom, I do not want the government taking care of my children. I brought them in this world, I'm going to take care of them. And thank God my dad had a little farm where he had all kind of vegetables, where he can take care of his children. we had cows, we had pigs.
For those of us who grew up in the Caribbean,
so that he can be self-sufficient. So that he
I didn't get in track. Yeah. So Veronica, unlike you and grew up in America, almost every Caribbean father, even though they become delinquent dads in a lot of cases, right? They had a backyard, they had something to plant the food, they had to taking care of their family. They had land somewhere, right? Whether from uncle, they ran land and plant some food and stuff like that. So the men were still in the Caribbean, were still looking after their children. And some of them have children with different women who probably didn't have a man, but they provided not only food, but sex as well. So the woman was the man could provide for her, right? And that she wanted that. So in the context of North America, what Ms. Shabazz was speaking of here too, was the woman who goes for help. She was asked to put the man on so she could get help. So we have a situation, the man can't be in the house. But you don't want to have the man in the house, but they're having children with the man.
Mm-hmm.
How does that work? We have to come to a point and say, look, man, stay with me.
Not early in the morning to do prayer and worship. And you
guys, my dear,
we'll be sleeping in when we are out. So I have to take this call. It's an emergency. So just going to do some counseling for a bit and then hit my bed. So
Tex has been a plump.
Tex, I love you.
However, Tex, we love you.
Yes, love you, Tex.
Love you.
And I left you a message.
It's a Vincent and Greta. This beach look nice behind it.
Yeah, Tex just keep tempting, all day today. I'm looking at that and it was so hot today. And I'm like, I could just see the beach and the water. That's all I could see today.
Anyway, guys, nice being with you guys.
Yes. All right. Have a good night and see you in the morning.
God bless you guys. Love you guys always.
Love you too.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
Tomorrow night.
Huh?
Tomorrow night, right?
Yeah, Heart to Heart and Women of Integrity.
Yes, Women of Integrity. All right. Yeah.
Love you guys. Bye-bye.
So yeah, text. Okay. So yeah, Doris, Veronica. Yeah. So the structure, the family structure in North America is broken down by the system. Yeah. But until we come into the understanding and the government of the body of Christ, which is Christ, the head, unless the man finds himself underneath there, yeah, and functioning from that level, the family would never be what it should be. Yeah. And then everybody know what the position is to play. The woman know how to function, the man knows how to function. I think the biggest model says everybody must learn to play their position. Yeah. So you know what your role is as a wife, the husband know what his role is as a husband, the children know what the roles are. Everybody functions on that level. We would have a functioning family, the way God wanted it to be. But when we become dysfunctional by outside elements, we become dysfunctional. And the system does a lot of that. But we have to be more conscious to not allow the system to invade our spaces. And that's why a lot of times when out of wedlock marriage and children and all this stuff happening, it leaves room for those things to happen. It gives space for that to happen, for the further destruction of the family. Yeah? But the family, in a sense, led by the man and the woman. It should be a coalition of working together. When the Bible also says the man has no dominion over his body, but the wife, and the wife has no dominion but the husband. Yeah, it talks of mutual relationship here. Yeah, and it gives instruction for children, it gives instruction for wife. Everybody has instruction how to function.
Right.
But we violate them. Total violation. So once we start violating the rules of engagement, guess what happens? Everybody go to do the things and do the thing what is right, what they feel is right. And today, You see, we have, like I said to a friend last time, if we ought to have a family the way God wanted to be, for some people it's very hard, but in the end, it will benefit the entire family.
Right, exactly.
Entire family, if every, for example, I heard a statement, somebody posted on Facebook a couple years ago, that the woman you have right now is not yours, she just stopped at your door now. Yeah? And I'm brother who posed that must be needing psychiatric treatment. Yeah? Because he must have a mother, and he must have sisters, and he may have daughters, and he would be having daughters soon. Yeah?
Right.
So if the woman I have, as she said, is not mine, she will only be here for a while, and she will move on again. The problem with that is, if you didn't treat her right, if you're abusing her verbally, psychologically, all the way abuse, she'll look what she will try to find a space where she'll be respected, loved, and cherished. So that's the reason why they go. So see, when I have a wife, she shouldn't be looking for somebody else. She always should be looking to me.
Right.
Does that mean? Because I representation of Christ in the house. See? So if I can represent Christ in the house, I'm failing. Yes? I'm a failure. Because I have to treat my wife as Christ. I love the church. Give my life for. When you say give, not only mean dying, because if I die, no help. What I mean, I must be of service. As the head of the household, I must be of service to my family. I must be the representation of Christ. That's what Christ said to the disciples. You want to be great? Be a servant. You want to be wonderful? Be a servant. You want to be leading? Be a servant. And if I can't be of service to my wife and my family, I'm not the leader. See, you have to be that leader, that servant leader. So when I say, I'm the head of the house, I'm not supposed to be doing that. No, right. You understand that you, the servant in the house, it won't just that. You have to be a servant. You have to be servitude. You have to be in servitude. Serving. Be a service to your wife. Be a service to you. And then they call you, you should be there. Your wife wants you to do something, you should be there. You're the servant leader. You don't hierarchy. You don't want everyone. Jesus said, I did not come to be served. He's the King of Kings. He said, I didn't come to be served. I come to be of service to you.
Right. That's right. That's right. And that's the thing. Men don't want to take on that responsibility. You know, they want to be able to lay and play with 2 and 3 different women. And when those women diss them and talk bad about them, then they go on to 3 more women, and then 3 more women, and then 3 more women. And
exactly. But the thing about it is, they want the power, but they want the responsibility.
Yeah.
Exactly. Want a Mustang, but they want to clean it.
Right. Exactly.
When a nice house, but don't keep the house clean. You want a wife, but don't maintain it.
Yeah, that's right.
But they want the power with no responsibility. With power comes with responsibility.
Yeah.
Your husband, you have to be responsible. Right? And if you're not being responsible,
that's right.
That you have to stick to your wife. You have to maintain the family. You have to provide for the family, because if you don't do that, you wasn't an infidel. That's what the Bible says. So all these instructions are there for us for the longevity of the relationship. You have to provide for. He didn't say she have to provide, you know. You have to provide, and she will help you with your provision. You get it? So when I give money, invest it and become more. If I give her a grocery, she give me a meal. You understand what I'm saying? So if I don't provide, she can't multiply. You understand? Right. So you have to provide for the multiplication. There's no provision, there's no multiplication. Nothing from nothing leaves nothing.
But you know, John, sometimes some women put so much pressure on that man that it becomes overwhelming. And that starts bringing disagreements, stress in that relationship. And that's when that relationship starts going south. Because as a woman, there are women who just want, but don't want to give or don't want to contribute. Because they think it's the man's responsibility. We were taught that the men should provide, and a woman's job back in the island was to be home, cook, take care of the children, clean the house, iron, or do whatever they need. And we didn't have to go to work or do anything. But
Yeah.
when we traveled, we find out it's not like that.
But no,
Everybody think when you travel, it's a bed of roses like in the islands, and it's not. Here, everybody works, everybody contributes. We know how it is with bills. So sometimes, and it's not every woman, sometimes too much responsibility is placed on the man.
Yeah.
And it's not fair to them either. Because, it's a call working together, togetherness, help each other, contribute, and try to work together instead of just depending on one person.
Okay, go ahead, Veronica.
So that's called living over your means, right? So if you live within your means and you teach your family to be that way, then it shouldn't be a problem. It shouldn't be that men are overwhelmed. But if you got 2 or 3 luxury cars out in the driveway, if you got a $1 million house that you know you can't afford, then that's the problem. Why live above your means when you, and that's why I tell men, I tell my brothers, always choose a woman that you can afford. If you know you can't afford that particular woman over there, don't even try, because you already know it's going to be a greater responsibility. So it goes to me, again, I say it falls right back on the man, because when a man chooses what wife he would live with the rest of his, hopefully the rest of his life with, he has to know that woman. He has to know, what are her habits? What is it that she likes? What is it that she wants inside her house? What kind of furniture does she want? What kind of car does she want to drive? Does she want clothing? Or, you got to figure all of that out before you say, this is the woman that I want. But again, the men, they're looking at the body structure. They're not even thinking about this woman here, clothes may be expensive. They're not even thinking about this woman here. She may want to go get her hair and her nails done every week or every other week. They're not thinking about that. All they're thinking about is a good time so that they can.
Veronica, I like what you're saying about, and drives me to a point as well. When we look at family, what is a family? What should family should be doing together? When a man meets a woman, I think one of the conversation that should be had is, how do we raise that family? What do we want out of this relationship? Yeah. What is your dream? Where do you see yourself? No, I have a dream. I have a vision of where I want to be. You come in that relationship now, you'll be my helpmate. Yeah. And that's what I'm doing. I will need your assistance to grow this thing. Yeah. I want you to help me build this dream together. And by so doing, you could get what you want out of it too, because if you need money, you might have a special project that you want to do. But out of this dream that I have, and you will help me to build it, you could also get yours. Yes? But the problem is that nobody sat down and have a plan. We see we kind of infatuated with each other. Yeah, we don't even have them be in love yet. We just infatuated. Yeah, and man, she look good. She speak good. He talks good. He dress good. He look like a nice guy. He have a nice house, and I'm good with that. Oh man, you see the guy? You see the guy? You guys? I heard those conversations before. Yeah. So the woman now, she get excited about the materialism. The man get excited about the physical structure. So they train out physical for material. They come together with no concrete plan. Yeah. And I said, well, where is that? I'm not. What are you doing here? What is that? They have children. They really train. They do money. They trade money. And the question of dressing and looking good is what she after. She wants to look good because see that he could maintain me. You have a nice car, you have a good job. I'm high maintenance. He could afford that. But she's not thinking about family, raising that family together. If you give her that money, could you help him multiply that money to become better?
Exactly. But the thing about it is that, some men want that for themselves and they want that for their families. However, you find a lot of men who are far from that. They're so far from it. They don't even have the vision of that. Most men single, if they do have a vision, until they meet that woman, that vision, they only see themselves in it, where they can benefit from it. And if you're not careful, when you meet that special woman, and you decide that you want to marry her, if you don't include her into that vision, you know, you find some men who don't want to give the wife the money for the household. She, you know, they limit her on the groceries. You know, she can't, you know, you can't use but one roll of tissue a week. I mean, just stupid things that just,
Vertica,
you know.
so right. I can tell you this one thing. I would give my wife my credit card, my bank card anyway. I don't have no worry about it because it's not my money, it's our money. That's what I see. Right. If you waste it and we end up in a crisis, it's our problem. Not your problem only, our problem. You see?
Right.
When men want to, men is not the managers of the home. The woman is the manager. You don't have a president of a company, but you have an office manager. When you have a company, you may have a president, right?
Right.
It's not the office manager. You understand what I mean? The husband is the CEO, but he's not the money manager. That's not his role.
Right, right.
And some men don't understand that in relationship. You are not the money manager. You're the one who makes sure that the money comes in. Make sure everybody do their part. And when the money go to that person, and this person manages the affairs. She's the one. He's the economist. She goes to the grocery and make the grocery with $100 and come up with $200 of grocery. You want to go for yourself. You go with $200 and spend. By the time you finish, you haven't come home with everything that you go on the list with. I don't know how to shop. She knows how to shop. She understands that. But a woman looking good, if you sit down together and plan a budget, I know you don't have one. You know what your wife needs. You know what she needs to do here. If you've been attentive, you will know what time she going and what every time 3 months she going to do she here. You know, every week she going to wash it. You know that it's been done. You've been pay attention. You know what she likes. She talk about what she likes. She talk about this. You know, when she dressed, she said, "I wish I had something like that." So you heard that now. So next time she had to go out, you know, you bite.
Right.
You're listening to. Don't turn your ears away. You listen to what she's saying when you're not when you're there.
Yeah, don't give it a hand.
Exactly. You know, so we have to be good listeners to be good leaders in the home. And for listeners, we can be good leaders. See? So, and that's what the Bible says, not love. He said, no, don't do it. He didn't say dwell with them according to love. He said, dwell with them according to knowledge.
Yeah.
Knowledge about you, about your spouse. You see, when we do divorce, they still love each other. They still have a love for that person, you know. Mm-hmm. They have knowledge about the person. They lack in knowledge. If you don't have knowledge, guess what happened? You'll perish. It's the lack of knowledge, not the lack of love. Because God is love. We always have love. What we lack is knowledge.
Oh, yeah.
The less you know about something, the more mess you make of it. So if you don't know about marriage, if you don't know about relationship, if you don't know about your spouse, if you don't know about, if I married Doris, I don't know, okay, Doris like to eat cow food on Saturday morning. She loves her sauce. You know, I know she loved that. So Saturday morning, I'll call you guys and say, hey, you got sauce up there? I get sauce for Doris. You know, Doris loves to go to the hairdresser every week. That's knowledge. I know what she like to go. Do she go to there and get she hair washed? I know she like to get she nails done every 2 weeks. That's knowledge about her. So she had a question when she'll get it done. I should be supplying that. You know, I'll be preparing for that. If you have a family, still have a budget, that should be in the budget. So she don't have to ask me for the money again. It's in the budget already. So she had the card every 2 weeks, you know, she had to do she needs. She don't ask me for the money to do that. And that's what in the family. So they go and beg me, honey, you know, I really love you, you know. But you know, I gotta do my hair next week. Can I have some money? That's not good.
Yeah, no. It should be free, like freely. I mean, it should be, you know, everybody should know where the money is. Everybody should know where the money is going. Everybody should know, you know, how the money is spent. Everybody should have a say-so in it. And, you know, that's the way it's supposed to be.
Yes. You know, that's the thing. Boy, Doris.
No, I was saying, you know, I think one of the biggest things that people do, rush into marriage. They don't take time to know each other. You know, they just run and get married. And then what do you really know about that person? We as women, just as well as men, we know what we want. We know what we're looking for. You know, the kind of traits of that person. Because, you know, it takes two to tango. So when you find somebody, you get to know them. If you and that person don't have anything in common, communication or all those things, that's a sign telling you, well, what do what do me and that person have in common?
Right.
What can we do together? How can we enjoy? If you don't have anything, you may not like what they do. And one of the biggest notion, people married with a man, a lot of women married with a man thinking that they can change that man or he will change after they get married. That doesn't work. People are who they are. They might change in maybe running women, or if there was a womanizer or stuff like that. They might when they find that perfect or the right woman that they're looking for. But with habits, you have to look at what you have. Look, if you go with somebody or who, you're going out with someone, you can tell by the conversation. Sometimes you ever talk to somebody and they don't even know how to start a conversation. You can't even have a decent conversation with them. And you're like, okay, well, what do we have? You can't talk about, so you was like, you're just struggling to even talk. So what would you have? You would take a lot of time. So this is why you try to find somebody, you look for somebody that you can laugh with, you can joke with, you can tell, whatever it is that you can, so somebody that have, the same likes like you, things that you can share, things that you can appreciate. If you don't have that in a relationship, what there is to talk about, stories you can tell or things you can communicate with. When you start with, well, let me use an example. Let's say I go with somebody from another country. They are from a whole different, culture. So we don't have the same things in culture. So now I have to learn the culture. I have to learn things about them in order to be communicating. So let's say I marry someone from Grenada. We have lots to talk about. There is things, you can relate to that we know, or, with our culture or upbringing and everything. Right. But if when you meet, and I can say that now, because when you get to a point in your life where you have been through certain things, you learn from that, you know what you want. Right. You know the kind of relationship or the person you want to be around or be with. And if you can communicate with someone, you can make that person laugh, they can make you laugh, you can joke around, you can, life is about fun. Life is about enjoyment, not being serious all the time and, being arguing and fighting. Any relationship I start with arguing and fighting, nope. I don't have time for that anymore. If we can start out where we can relate to each other, communicate, enjoy each other's company, and have a really good conversation. And then I don't want that in my life now. I want to have a peaceful life and a life. So I know what I'm looking for. And we as women, we know what we want. And when we find that traits in a man or a woman, we know there is something that we like or something we really want to get to know more about that person. We want to get more involved in their life, know who they are, know what, and then you start building from there. So this is why so many people end up in divorce, because they're just married for marriage sake. Yeah. They have nothing in common. And then they live in a house where they barely talk. They go, they come, they say hi, they say hello, they clean the house, they cook, they wash, they cook. But they don't really, do they spend any quality time together? Do they enjoy each other's company just to sit and talk, or just to, laugh and stuff? So get to know the person. People who is looking, get to know that person first. Don't jump into marriage without knowing. And if you see that, that person starts annoying you or things getting under your skin so early in that relationship, what do you think is going to happen? That is not going to change, because if you can feel that way that early, what do you think is going to go happen later on? Exactly. It's going to build up. So, we know what we want. I know what I want. And when you find, this is why they say when you, I don't know. I'm to that point. I think that when you meet that person and you find that person and that connection, and this is why you see, love is something that's unexplainable. It's a feeling. And when you find it, you will know it.
Yeah.
You don't have to fight, to love someone.
No, I think love is beyond a feeling. It's deeper than a feeling. I think when you meet somebody, you will have that spiritual connection. It's love is a spiritual thing. You have to
Yes.
spiritual.
Yes.
So just because feeling comes and goes, so you can feel like I feel like eating this. I feel like tomorrow. I don't feel like I want to be in love with you. But love is not a feeling. The thing about it is once you love, and you see when a woman loves a man, and there's something that disrupting the relationship, you fight for that man because she loves that man. Yeah, for a lot of different reasons, she loves it. But there is this knowledgeable part of relationship that people need to know, because that is what will keep you bonded and grounded with that person. Now, for example, let me go. I always use myself as an example. I use John Curtis. I like to do that because that's how I live. Now, I know my wife Taki don't like loud music, loud noise. So if I come in here and my cell phone blasting, I know I'll be hearing her knock. Put that down. Keep it down. You know what I mean? So I'm consciously so I'm gonna do she'll come and she'll knock the door. Can I turn it on, please? And she gone. So I know that. I know that my wife don't like rowdiness. She does love peace and quiet. I love peace and quiet too, but that's how she like peace and quiet. My wife is not going outside. I'm not social butterfly, right? But if my wife go to me, she will find people that she can accommodate in her space. Yeah? And she'll be social. But I know not to do certain things that will upset her. And that's because I know what she wants. I know how she lives, how she thinks. So once you, as a man, if you live with one for over a period of time, the more you know about them, the better you learn to live with them. Lack of knowledge destroys relationship. Period. Both ways. If you don't know who's been a boyfriend or a girlfriend, however they think, what they do, what they like. Because if a woman finds out you're pleasing her, if a man finds out you're pleasing him, that means that you're knowledgeable about them, their needs and wants, and you're serving them in that way. They won't want to leave you for nothing. I care what nobody say. If a man find a woman that is being of service to him, for a woman find a man that is being of service to her, nobody come and take that space. She'll be like a tigress. Nobody woman come in that space.
Well, John, I won't completely agree with that 100% because I'm a living example that that's not true. Okay, so I'm a living example. My ex-husband, I got up in the mornings, I fixed him breakfast, I made sure his lunch was done, and made sure he, I cooked for him at night. I, provided his clothing. I did things for him. Ran errands like I was like a housemaid, so to speak. And, I did things for his family. I mean, I did things for his family when I didn't even do things for my own family. And I ended up putting this man first, and I lost myself. So in the end of the marriage, he told me, and then helped to create a business, not just a successful business, right? And this man here at the end told me, you haven't done anything for me. Now, that's the worst thing a man could ever say to a woman, especially when that woman has been in his corner, that has been his helper, that has been, especially men. Some men, they just need a wife, right? They just need a wife because they just lacking something. Whereas some men don't need a wife because they know how to cook. Like you probably could live by yourself successfully. Then you find some men who don't know how to cook, they don't know how to clean, they don't know how to do anything. So
when you say that, recently my wife and I was talking in the studio here, and Janice was here, just chatting. And my wife said to Janice, Dad don't cook anymore. I said, well, I don't cook anymore because I'm focusing more here. I'm playing the position of running the radio station, and you focusing on taking care of the meals and doing everything else, doing the laundry. Before, I used to be in the kitchen 24. I used to cook. When I just on the radio station, I used to bake every weekend. Like my wife now, she don't want to put the pressure. She said, you know what? Saturday morning when you wake up, you have the radio. You run the whole radio station all day Saturday. So when she go grocery shopping, she buy bread, she buy cake and stuff like that. So when they say a bake day, it's just a special time. I just said, okay, I'm gonna bake this weekend. But she don't want me to do that again. She want me to focus on what I'm focusing on, to build this thing, to make sure that it works. Yeah, so she's able to do that, and that's knowledgeable. Now, if I have to leave that and go and do, I'll be neglecting something which could feel that role. And I think when we don't understand our roles, and if you want to talk about your husband, in that sense, he become blindsided by something else or something. Because if you're doing all that for me, yeah, in the morning, my wife packed my bag for work. Yes, she put on the food, she put on the fruit, she put on the cake, the treat, the juice, the water, whatever. Everything set up. All right, so I put in the bag and then I put in the bag myself. But she makes sure everything set up for me to go. You understand? So if I have a woman doing this and I give up that for what? All of this is taking care of you, maintaining, being of service to you. So why would I want to give up that? For what? You understand what I'm saying, Doris? Why would I want to give up all of these goodies? There's a woman giving of self to me, and I'm just let that go.
Exactly, John. And that goes both ways. If a man doing the same for you, why would you want to give him up? And if you're doing that for the man, this is why I say it takes two. Because the same way that man is bending over backwards for you, you also have to show that man how much you care about him, love him, and appreciate what he's doing for you. And if he's not showing that, that man looking at, I'm doing everything for you. I'm treating you like a queen, but you treating me like it doesn't matter. You know, I am not worthy. And, you know, then they start feeling a kind of way. So guess what happens? This is why a lot of men go out there and women pull them away from the home because they're showing them that kind of love and care and attention that they're not getting at home from their wife.
But you know something to Doris? A lot of times, like in Veronica's case, she might be the one that putting everything out there for make him look good on the street. And some slick little lady, see looking nice and good and nice out of Veronica's expense.
Exactly.
Yeah? And
that's exactly what happened.
I heard a lady say one time, me, I ain't making no man look good. For someone to come take him from me, let me stay ugly and dirty, let me keep him for myself.
You know, John, you mentioned that, but let me tell you, that is the plan. The next man that comes, I'm not fixing him up. However he come, however he will be. I'm not suggesting anything. I'm nothing. If you don't come wholehearted, if you don't come already equipped, I'm sorry. I can't do it because I've done it. I've done it twice, right? In both cases, the men decided that they want somebody else, you know, and not only did they want somebody else, but then somebody else on the side of that somebody else, you know. So it's the type of thing that, you know, we as women, we are loyal. Most women are loyal. Most women want to be and help their husbands to, you know, handle everything in the home and make sure that the home is peaceful and ran the way it's supposed to. But again, these men, and you can have the best wife, you know, you look at Jay-Z and Beyonce. I'll use them as an example. He done went and cheated on her. And I think even have an outside child. Now, as beautiful as she is, why would he want anybody else? Yeah. You know, it doesn't matter to men how beautiful you are, how loving you are, how tender you may be, how good you treat them. They still gonna turn their head and look the other way. And if they can get an opportunity, they're gonna go for it.
Yeah, and it happens all the time, and that's part of the problem. That because you see, Beyonce beauty, she might have another default. She might function in a different way. She have a different attitude to certain things in that particular time when he probably had an affair. So you know, sometimes people have relationship problems, right? And that one thing drives them to go. I'm gone, and they don't mean they're going forever. They're gone. They go there. You know what? I used to be home with you on Friday night. I'll find somewhere to go. Friday night they go somewhere to sit down, and this girl's like, "What are you doing here by yourself?" No, the wife. She come out talking to him, and before you know it, he and himself, and she hot as ever. You know, all spice something right there that night, and they come on a one night stand. Boom, that's it. Yeah, but the woman at home now realizes, he come back home to me. He had a affair. I didn't know about it until 5 years later. To heck with it, I don't care. we're still together. Some women will make a big fuss and fight and want to leave and all kinds of stuff. And I want half. I want half of the property. I want half of that. And she, with all of that now, you know what? Go. I don't want your hair anymore. I don't want no children coming here. I don't want no child that's not just coming here. And that is it. The relationship done. But like Beyonce, she knows that she realizes there's more to lose than just that relation, than that child. Yeah? So she realizes, I have no problem. You have the child. We have a bigger thing going on here. I think that's what we have to come to be the bigger person. What we have is bigger than what he had outside. This is a passing phase. It happens, and I won't be the first one. I'm not the first one happening too. So let me just keep my powder dry and just accept it. Forgive my husband. We have more together, more to live for than putting up at. And sometimes women say, I can't do that. Let him go. And sometimes the friends say, let him go. Don't worry him. Let him go about the business. And then, it's her friend end up getting married to me. Her friend that she know well, he end up dating. You understand? And all of them conspire and make you feel bad, make you feel like you don't deserve him. And you let him go, and they pick him up. Because they didn't know that you was the one that maintaining him. And then they realize that, hey, he can maintain himself. He's very good to maintain him and make him look good. And then they drop him now because he is not maintaining himself anymore. When you was the one doing it for him, make him look good. You see?
John, I think that men who fall into that category, who goes outside of their marriage, who goes outside of their home looking for fulfillment or looking for a good time and all that stuff, I think that God would not allow them to live in peace. That's just my personal opinion. I think that they're going to always be searching for something or someone, and they're never going to be fulfilled.
Nobody that cheats are cheating are comfortable cheating. Nobody who cheats are comfortable cheating. Nobody. No thief is comfortable thieving. Nobody who commits crime is comfortable committing. Everything inconvenient for them. Yes? Everything. A woman cheating on her husband, she feeling guilty. A man cheating on her wife, he feeling guilty. Your conscience is a school teacher to you. That conscience of yours will nag you every day. You come home, you're feeling guilty. You're feeling like, oh my God, if she find out, if she catch me in that place, if somebody see me. But if you walk on your wife, you don't care. If you walk on your husband, you don't care. That's yours. You are this person alone. You go to the movie with another woman, you wonder who in the cinema going to see you and this woman together. You go to a restaurant with another woman, wonder who's going to see me with that other woman. You never address. But if you're married and you go with your man, and you know that your man is going weird, you don't have nothing to worry about.
Right, that's right. Because you belong to each other, but it's
you see, John, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. A lot of men marry for a pretty face and a beautiful body, but they don't look at the heart. If you don't have love and compassion in your heart, that beautiful face don't mean anything. So those who just marry for that reason, they're marrying for the wrong reason, because they find out later that beauty and all of that they go for made their life a misery. So when you're choosing or looking for somebody, look at the love and compassion they have, the way they are with their family, the way they are with their children, if they have children before, the things that they do, how family oriented they are. You learn things about them. Because, my grandparents always used to say, if a man don't love his mother, don't ever marry a man that don't love his mother or don't communicate with his mother. Because if he don't love his mother, he cannot love you.
And it's that Doris and Veronica, one of the things I often say to young women, if you're dating somebody, and is you alone dating, know that in the heart of heart, you alone dating. And after 3 weeks, or the first week, you're excited about taking to meet his mother. After 3 months, you haven't seen him to see his parents or his family, and his friends, run. Something is up. If he can't walk with you, he always tell you, I'll come pick you up in the night, and not in the day, something wrong. Yeah? Nobody live in the shadows. Yeah? If I'm dating you, the world would know I'm dating, we're going out. If I have no fear of you, I don't want everybody to see me. So I will not be you to see mom. We have some men bold enough to bring 5 or 6 girlfriends to the mother, and the mother will say, hi, nice daughter, nice, how you doing? Some mother-in-law will say, no, not in my house, don't bring her here. This is a woman who have respect for herself, and she don't want to see another woman be treated badly. Yes?
Right.
I love you. I know it's you already have. If you live in an apartment, he'll tell you come over anytime. He'll give you a key to the apartment and all. If he, look, myself, when Taki was coming in here, right, I give her a key. Yes?
But she said, I'll go over there when I know he's at work.
Yeah. So if you live by yourself and the person that you're dating right now doesn't give you a key within the first week, ask him why. He'll bring you to his apartment, and you bring once to have sex and you go out, you drop it back home. I call the car for you to go home. You know that you're just being used. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
All those little things that in relationship, if a man just, okay, meet me home, come home, we cook dinner, you have sex with you, and you call the car for you to go, you say, well, stay over, and you already have something wrong with that. And if I bring you over to a night, I don't want you to leave the same night. Why don't you still go with me for the night? You alone I have. You know? And here's the key. So next time you feel like coming home, you can drop by me anytime. I have no fear because I know I don't have nobody coming and knock my door besides you. You understand? So all those little things have to be looked into, man. I'm one of the person to tell ladies, if you don't get a key, you get a 3 months visit, within 3 months you can't see the mother, you can't see the friends. If you can't show me up before the world, something wrong. If you're good, you don't want to roll on the glass, you want to keep the tinted glass up all the time, something wrong. You know, in the summer, hot, you want to tint the glass up. You can't put it up and say, no, keep it up. Why? They're hiding me from somebody. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if I can't free to travel with you, can be free to be with you. You know, simple as that.
Yeah, that's right.
According to Martin Luther King, let freedom reign, man.
Mm-hmm.
Let freedom reign. Well, the time is 11:25. We've been like, yeah. Well, I got to cut off at 12:30, 11:30. Any closing words, Veronica?
Yeah, I just want to say to anyone who's listening, Gemfm listeners, marriage is an important thing. Please go into it, or if you're already in it, please take it serious. To the men out there, know that your wives love you. They chose you, or they chose to accept the marriage proposal. They chose to accept the marriage. So do good by them. Do good by them. Be loyal. We need, this next generation need to see the men be loyal to the women. We need to see the women who are loyal to the men, and keep the family dynamics together so that, everybody benefits from the marriage. Everybody benefits from the family. So I just want to say, just do the best you can and leave outside interference alone. Sometimes it's a third party that's in your ear that may be influencing you to leave your partner, or to advise you to do something else. But listen, they weren't there when you said I do, so don't allow them to say you don't. So that's my advice out there for the listeners. And just enjoy yourself in your marriage. Even if you have to reinvent yourself, even if the marriage has to be reinvented, as long as both parties are on the same page, you can do it. You don't have to stay in a boring, sexless marriage. You can make it exciting. You can make it fun and enjoy yourself. That way, your husband or your wife won't be around the corner. Amen.
Amen. Thank you so much for Doris. Doris.
Yeah. Well, we talk about that tonight. Marriage is a sacred thing. And when you take a vow, remember, you say for better, for worse. So men and women, when you take that vow, honor those vows. Don't be so quick to give up on your marriage or to run as soon as there is a little problem or there is an issue. Everything takes work. Nothing good comes easy. You have to work hard for what you want and to make it the way you want to be. So running away doesn't solve problems. Facing them, dealing with them is the best way to do it. So don't be, wives, don't be quick to divorce your husbands, or husband, don't be quick to divorce your wives. Nothing comes without problem. There will always be problem. No one is perfect. We're all human. We make mistakes and things go wrong, but it's how we deal with it that matters. We have to face it, and everything to every problem, there is a solution. You just have to work at it and find that solution. So take marriage seriously. It's not a joke. And if you don't marry out of convenience, marry for love. Life is what you make it. And don't marry and say, oh, a lot of people marry for money, a nice house, a nice car. But at the end of the day, is it what the heartache and the pain is going to cost you? All that does is control you. Because when someone feel that you with them for the money, or they have that hold on you, they feel they couldn't, you have to take all kind of nonsense from them. So don't put yourself in that situation because a man offer you money, or because you drive a nice car, or you have a big house, you're going to run and marry that man. You're going to make your life a misery. Marry for love, not for convenience and not for money. Money, the love of money is the root of all evil. And as a child, I said that I would rather marry a poor man and be happy than marry a rich man and be miserable. I stand by that today. I will never marry a man for money if I don't love him. And if I love a man who is poor, I don't care if you don't have money or not. Somebody have to have a start. People say, oh, don't marry a man if you don't have a house, or you don't have this, or you don't have that. He's supposed to do this and do. So a woman could marry a man who have a house, who is rich, who have everything. So what is wrong if a woman have money, she have a start in life, she have something to begin with, and you too could work and expand that and build an empire from that? What's wrong with that? So when people say, oh, you just want your money or stuff, that may be so, but that's for you to find out. You don't have to believe what people say. Use your own judgment and make your own assumptions. You get to know that person. We all grown. So don't be, and I often think about that. People say, I remember when I got divorced, and people say, oh, and don't take no man and bring in your house because you just come in because you have a house and you have this and that. So if I meet a man and I didn't have a house, I'm going to go live in his house. So if I meet a man, we fell in love, but he's not, financially secured, but he's a hard worker. He's working to expand himself and to make life better. And you already have that home, or you have that start. What's wrong with that? With marrying that person, bringing them into your home and work together to make that a bigger and better home and expand your financial needs or growth. Yeah. So don't be, just be mindful. Just be mindful.
Amen. I love it, this. When we started the show, Sister Michelle and I, a couple years ago, it's a lot of stuff coming out of the book, and as time goes on, it become bigger and better. And I see Doris' growth. I see Veronica growth, the shyness, and Doris didn't want to come on the show at one point. She's ready for it. And the maturity that comes, and listening to both of you tonight, the show has done as much as it's done for me, I've done for both of you and others as well. Techs have grown out of this, and many people have grown out of this. And when it comes to relationship, I hope that these shows that we've been having over the last couple of years, and you guys come to it, have been able to help lift you guys up a little bit and know what better to do. Even me, I've learned a lot of things, and as I read the Bible, as I live with my wife according to knowledge, I try to understand her more and more, what she doing wrong, what she do wrong. I think one relationship is trying to cultivate you know, what you have, make it, prune it and shape it to make it grow stronger and better. And relationship is not to dump, put aside, really. We have to cultivate it. We have to continue pruning and growing, pruning and growing. And whether it's at a personal level, you have to develop yourself. Yeah?
Yeah.
Because once you start growing and develop yourself, the people around you will see it and understand and see the growth, and we part of it and we help mulch. You know, when somebody treating somebody mulching and somebody nurturing the whole thing and make it come better. So relationship is not a one-man thing, it's a family affair.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the more we know together, the better we grow together. So I want to say, like, to be engaged in everybody's part of the process in every family. We are part of that big puzzle. Let's put it together and make it a form of video picture. It's really worth it. When the picture is finished, everybody will love it. But probably some people have the patience to work the puzzle to put the picture together. Let's pick up the pieces and put it together so we can all enjoy the view when it goes on the wall. That's how it is.
Amen.
Well, amen. Well,
Amen.
blessed night. And I know Veronica, you guys will be up in the morning with text and watch, join in the morning somewhere. I mean, everybody else.
I have an early morning appointment.
No, I know. Most of us I'll be up around a bit later, but I have to get my rest nowadays. I need to rest. I haven't slept Sunday night. So I went whole Saturday right into Sunday. I didn't sleep. And till last night I had a sleep. So I'm gonna go take a sleep and wake up again. I need 3 days rest for the 2 days I missed. That didn't sleep. And that, yeah. Another day in the week, I'll just make it John Day. You know, I just take that other day and just sleep for the whole day. You know, but I need to take some rest. I have to work on the magazine too. I have to work on that and have to go in there. But I need help, but I got to do what I have to do here still, you know, and get it good.
Yeah.
But I'll finish and it's growing and trimming and growing and growing and growing. We're all going to benefit from it. That's the tree grow, you know, and then bring forth fruits, everybody go eat out the tree. Yeah, let's work together and support each other, but let's keep sharing it with other people. And then getting somebody's space, say, hey, you know about Gemfm? What is Gemfm? Well, I'm co-hosting with a lady called Text every time. I said, midday, you know, we have this show going on. Talk to somebody about it, you know, promote it, and then they come and see. I didn't know you talk like that. I didn't know Veronica doing this. Are you the next Oprah Winfrey? You know, you never know. So keep it going. Doris and Veronica, thank you for being here. And I really appreciate you guys, you know, being here with us, being here tonight. I know Minister Walker wasn't able to do it tonight because the other and still in Christ having the one week, Monday to Friday, Saturday convention, Feet on Fire conference, second annual one. But Jamaica has this program. I'll take in one night, about Thursday night, and bring the conference because Friday I have something else to do again. So I'll join them on Thursday night. Yeah?
Yes.
Okay.
Bless.
Send the link.
Yes. Send the link. Yeah, it's yeah, I'll bring it live here on Gemfm Thursday night, so we're gonna see.
Okay, good.
John.
Hey.
Do you ever watch Ride Along?
Yes, I do. I watch Ride Along all the time.
You need to watch today's program.
One with the older one? The one with
No, the one he did today, this evening. I'll message you and tell you why.
Yeah, I think I watch them. I don't watch full right through. I watch sometimes 5 minutes and I go back to, because when I'm working sometimes, I don't have time to sit and hold and watch a show. So I watch because I miss, I want the same one on 6 o'clock, but probably miss what you're talking about. I don't know. So
it's on 6 o'clock, but today's one was special. You need to see today.
Yeah, it's a surprise there for you.
For me?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I think I changed the name from Ride Along to Sit Along now. Okay, not too long in the car. That's a great joke. You don't ride along anymore. You're sitting now in the studio, so you're not changing the name. I'm talking. But your brother got changed the name from Ride Along to Sit Along, you know? All right.
Okay, so we're gonna say good night.
All right, one love.
All right, one love. Have a blessed night.
God bless.
This is. And to all our listeners, I just say good night to those, to Debbie, who else you have it? Debbie and Georgina Peters.
Georgina left already.
Okay, so all of the ladies who was on with us tonight, again, blessings and honor to you. I know there are a lot of people watching, but they're not present on the screen. They're here, Debbie Harper, and all those listening, those secret viewers, have a good night, and thank you for joining us. Please love, like, and share the link. All right?
Yes.
Blessings. Let me find the song. Yeah, here.
I've been working hard. I've made a mess of me. The person that I've been lately ain't who I wanna be. Just stay here right beside me. Watch as the storm goes through, and I need you.
'Cause God gave me you for the ups and downs. God gave me you for the days of doubt. For when I think I've lost my way, there are no words here left to say it's true. God gave me you. Gave me you. There's more here than what we're seeing. Divine conspiracy. It's you, an angel lovely, could somehow fall for me.
You'll always be love's great martyr. I'll be the flattered fool, and I need you. Yeah, God gave me you for the ups and downs. God gave me you for the days of doubt. For when I think I lost my way, there are no words here left to say it's true. God gave me you. On my own, I'm only half of what I could be. I can't do without you.
We are stitched together, and what love has done that I pray we never undo.
'Cause God gave me you for the ups and downs. God gave me you for the days of doubt. Oh,
God gave me up for the ups and downs. God gave me up for the days of doubt.
for when I think I've lost my way, there are no words here left to say it's true. God gave me you.
Gave me you.
He gave me you. Jesus, take the wheel, take it from my hands, 'cause I can't do this. Here comes the bus.
What hurts
Here comes the
Are you
May God bless you and keep you and make you a blessing to you and your family. God bless. Join us next week, Tuesday night, right here at 8 o'clock for Developing Intimacy in Marriage. Step Up in Christ, Developing Intimacy in Marriage, right here in Gemfm. And coming up on the 2nd of this month, the New Life Worship Center is holding a fundraising concert, 925 Western Road. Come out, Sister Shirley Caesar. Shirley Caesar. Why am I saying Shirley Caesar? Just Shirley Simpson, and Daniel Simpson, Genesis Calise, and many others. Come out and be part of it. Come on, support. $20 per ticket starts at 5. So come and be a part of this movement. All right? Wonderful. And before tomorrow night, Minister Stephen Christ is continuing the week-long crusade session right here, Gemfm, and also on Stephen Christ platform. Right, Faith and Fire will be happening this week. Continue going on right through the week. So just be part of the movement and join them tomorrow night and Gemfm link out here on Faith and Fire. All right. Also, don't forget this tomorrow night on WP10 TV in Greater, the revolutionary celebration continues and the focus is on agriculture then and now. Join them and be part of the movement. WGP10 in Greater Television, the 100 mark television station. Check it out and be part of the discussion. He has promised to keep you till the end of the journey. I know my God will turn it around.
Are you thinking that you're all alone? So you feel God is forsaking you. He has promised to keep you till the end of the journey.
Everything.
the Savior say. And when my life on earth is past, it's just one thing, Lord, I ask. Don't let me leave behind an unfinished task. If I have wronged my brother, if I have wounded a friend, give me courage, precious Lord, to make the amends. And when I've come to change my world and reach glory at last, don't let me leave behind an unfinished task. Lord, here I find you've run the race. You have paid everything. These words I long to hear the Savior say. And when my life on earth is past, there's just one thing, Lord, I ask. Don't let me leave behind an unfinished task. If I have wronged my brother, if I have wounded a friend, give me courage, precious Lord, to make amends. And when I've come to change my world and reach glory at last, don't let me leave behind an unfinished task. Lord, here I cry, you've run the race. You have paid everything. These words I long to hear the Savior say. And when my life on earth is past, there's just one thing, Lord, I ask. Don't let me leave behind an unfinished task. Lord, here I cry, you've run the race. You have everything. These words I long to hear the Savior say. And when my life on earth is past, there's just one thing, Lord, I ask. Don't let me leave behind an unfinished task. Don't let me leave behind an unfinished task. Don't let me